I'm back. Namaste. Do you know most Indian POAs are NPCs or non-playable characters? They're all Mgtowed. They're just red-pilled for clout, or Mgtow, men going their own way. They're no longer approaching. Well, in this video, you're going to learn why Indians are a bunch of sheeps and they're mentally stuck. They're not taking any action, wasting another year by being brainwashed. You're like, what are you talking about, John? Hey, if you're interested in a book that I can write, everyone can buy it for $5. You get 10 bonuses, except for India. You cannot get it. That's the only country that cannot buy my stuff. Many backstabbers. Regardless of that, for me, I got so many Indians laid, married for day game. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. But an NPC, you're like, what's an NPC, John? That's a non-playable character. It's just a phrase meaning not a main character. Or just a background character, just existing that nobody cares about for a day game. They don't approach anymore. They worship super hard other dating coaches, and they're mentally stuck. They can't afford the most expensive. I mean, they can afford the most expensive boot camps because they're like engineers. They have the money. So for them, and they're super ADHD, they need a boot camp. And they always believe that they either need status or they need romantic flirts. They're completely gaslighted and completely brainwashed with half truths. Alcohol maxing in the bedroom. That's right. Excessive bedroom escalation of drunk women, which they'll teach for their boot camps. They'll tell you to use a bottle of champagne and get her drunk. It's easier. I'm not saying like that's automatic for all Indian dating coaches. But however, I'm just saying, is it possible that you're using alcohol maxing? They always worship white dating coaches first. Basically, they worship whites and then they worship their own race and they're gaslighted by both. By the time they listen to other coaches, all these other pills, then it's Johnny Elite last. It's always Johnny Elite last. So they're completely gaslighted and completely brainwashed with half-truth alcohol maxing in the bedroom. And I know it sounds crazy because you're so used to learning that you need to worship a coach of your same ethnicity. If they can do it, you can do it. So everything, you open your mind and all the garbage goes inside, all the half-truths. And that's the funny thing with Indians. As soon as you market to them, because they have a fractured brain, throw one jab, it gets through, metaphorically speaking. Throw right cross, it gets through. They're so susceptible to marketing more than any other type of students. So, having said that, you got to worship first before you listen. Since you're not worshiping here, now it's like I listen to you, I listen to other coaches that are white and Indians. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Indian coaches, tons. Just like there's tons of Asian coaches, you got to listen to you rather listen to tall, strong, queefing Casanova over me. That's the truth. Everybody else except Johnny Elite. Johnny Elite last. So I'm going to share with you 3 uncomfortable truths with you today that's going to revolutionize the way Indians are NPCs, non-playable characters. That you have 0 chances here for day game, and the only ones that are approaching are in London. They are like 4 out of 10 for perceived natural status. And that's the thing. Now, they're like whitewashed, they're 4 out of 10, but 2 out of 10. However, they'll only get women that are 4 out of 10. They have 0 chance for day game this year outside of that. While Latinos are really bad students, at least they're still approaching or attempting to. Indians are fully NPCs, non-playable characters. And I, as the world's best day game coach with 631 lay poll testimonials, where my students are focused on same-day lays this year, which is faster using that in the United States for students in Canada. And they don't even need to use alcohol in the bedroom. So what is it? This concept, stop being a sheep. If you have this mentality, oh, if they can do it, you can do it. It's like, okay, but you don't see the conversion mechanisms. Let's say, for example, it's not to be a hater, because I'm not. But if you took away the conversion mechanism, it does not work. Let's say there are different conversion mechanisms. And the very first one is maybe an Instagram close. So that means everything before the Instagram close does not technically work, doesn't work at all. It means all the stuff before it does not work. Then you take away another conversion mechanism that Indians will use in boot camps is using alcohol and escalating super hard. So if you take away that after the pull, everything else before then is not transferable. It is not transferable for day game courses. It's a waste of time. So therefore, okay, I just woke up, so my hair is kind of messy. But everything before that point does not work. However, when you take the boot camps, then you learn the conversion mechanism or you utilize it, and then you might get some results, but it's not sustainable because you cannot clout your way to everything. You don't have that kind of status. You don't have a high status job. You're not like a DJ, a club promoter. You're not like a, all this other stuff, a music producer. So therefore, you cannot utilize this sort of clout. Second of all, if you're depending on alcohol afterwards, it's going to be not sustainable because not all women drinks, and you're going to be stuck. When you get back, you lose your skills, and be pulling will be very hard. But alcohol cannot be the only answer, the hidden conversion mechanism. So therefore, if you have this mentality, if they can do it, you can do it. Because you think, oh, white people, white dating coaches, they can do it, you can do it. Race doesn't matter. You have this RSD mentality first. After that, you go to Indians as your only options. After that, you're going to go to all the other coaches, Queefing Casanova, every other coach. Then you go red pill, black pill, all this other shit. And who's in the very bottom that you listen to? Even though my student got a same day lay recently in the United States, which is way more impressive than fucking European countries that are easier. But guess what? You don't care. So John Elite last, automatic thinking. So even if I keep posting one testimonial after another, you don't give a fuck. So Indians, they worship some London day game banging 4 out of 10s. At least they're approaching in London. But other Indian coaches are first options. John Elite last. So one of my students, they worship black pill and red pill so hard that he's stuck. I'm going to share with you 3 uncomfortable truths about why you have this mentality, white worshipping mentality, or being a sheep, that if they can do it, you can do it. You shut everyone out. Like all my student results for Indians who are married, who are engaged, who already got laid, who same day lay, who has a girlfriend. And now you can realize that you don't have to be a total sheep. So there are 3 levels. Level 1, they'll spend $300 or less. They're delusional, they're worshiping, they try to fix their own life. They're in their head. For this type of Indian person, these are the sheeps, and most of them are in India. I do not train people from India anymore. They're all backstabbers. They're not even allowed to buy my future book. Number 2, level 1 will only... Level 2, okay, that's level 1. That's a sewer rat. Most Indians are not sewer rats. Well, there are some that are really ADHD and super poor with low SMV. Yeah, they do exist, but most of them are level 3 sheeps. Level 1's a sewer rat. They're in their own head. They're delusional. They worship. Level 2 is the horses. Most Indians, my students, they start with level 2. You can lead them to water, but not make them drink. And the water means $1,000 that they spend for Elite Bundle 2. Level 3, I want my students are not sheeps, but other Indians that's spending on boot camps are a bunch of sheeps. This is Bancho the sheep over here. So for Bancho, they'll spend thousands and thousands of dollars. They'll spend like over $5,600 to over $20,000 or $30,000 on boot camps. This is how they are because they're engineers. They can afford this. You don't need a boot camp to get laid here or to get married or to get a girlfriend if you're Indian, as my students can do, or multiple girlfriends. However, most Indians are like that. they automatically have automatic thinking. So level 2 is like that. Level 3 are the sheeps. Level 2, at least you can discipline them. I call them the horses. You can lead a horse to water, but not make them drink. Lastly, the sheeps. They'll never would spend they would spend thousands, since a lot of them are engineers. That's the truth. They're engineers. And they're so gaslighted, they realize sometimes that they might worship things that aren't transferable to them. They don't realize these things. They have a very fractured mind. For example, status. You can't fucking status max. You're like, yes, you can. If they can do it, you can do it. Status is the only way. Well, if you can do it, good for you. If you're an engineer and you have millions of dollars or a lot of money, you have a high status job. And most Indians don't, they're engineers. But let's say hypothetically, you're not an engineer. Let's say hypothetically that you're a DJ, you're a club promoter, music producer, something high status as a job. Then you don't have coworkers that will get angry at you for having women pictures in your background for your Instagram. So, having said that, then maybe you can do it. But most of you are logical job or engineers. Most of you are engineers. Therefore, you can't do it, even if you wanted to, or you have a logical job. You cannot have women twerking in the background, with their asses out, twerking. And then your boss and your coworker will start to get jealous and get angry at you. And you can't travel all the time because you're an engineer. That's third world money status advantage. You don't have the high status, you don't have the whitewash, ethnicity or fashion. Therefore, you don't have the 4 out of 10 perceived natural status as an Indian. Number 2, you don't have the high status job like a DJ, club promoter, music producer, or some other thing. Number 3, you don't have a high status lifestyle. Some of you do, but most of you don't. You're so busy with work. Number 4, you don't have the throw money status advantage. Or number 5, exotic advantage. You're in a different country where they're all one ethnicity, and you can status max. You can status max. But you can't do that. You don't have any of these status. And if you're red pill, you're going to take away 3 points by being angry, blaming women that they're on a cock carousel. So, however, saying that, it's like status and alcohol maxing, which you also use in other boot camps, which requires a boot camp as the only option, where you're going to be learning how to use alcohol. And if you don't do that, then you'll do nothing. You'll be an NPC, a non-playable character. Because as John Elite Last, you're so brainwashed by all the other pills, by white dating coaches, other Indian dating coaches, it's like John Elite Last. Like, there's so many obstacles getting you to listen to what I have to say, no matter how many lay testimonials I post. You can't even put one foot in front of another with your tongue sticking out, completely incapacitated, because you were dumb enough to be listening to propaganda and half-truths. You think there are solutions elsewhere, but they're only crutches. You simply dismiss skill maxing of social skills and social calibrations in the whitewash tonality. Your options are taken away from you. In fact, you turn everyone off. So if I start making topics about Indians right now, believe it or not, as I'm going to probably post this in the video section, most people will not care because nobody will watch it. You're reinforcing the negative stereotypes of being a 2 out of 10 Indian, a banchoed Indian, dressing like shit with huge beards and flannel shirts and dark blue tapered pants with no social awareness and big sneakers. Or you're getting a 4 out of 10 looking women if you're in London, at least they approach, but tons of approaches, tons. And they spend so much in boot camps. They go to 5 or 6 boot camps. I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, it's all game, right? It's all status maxing. Women like status. Therefore, it's the only option. And it'll get you results, right? If they get results, you get results. That's what you think. But I'm going to show you that a great way for you to realize that game crutches isn't transferable to you, or alcohol crutches or mass numbers game. That means without boot camp, you can't use it as a cheat code. for alcohol maxing. In reality, my students don't cheat. There is no alcohol policy here. There's zero status maxing. So when people ask me, hey, John, do your students use the Instagram? The answer is none of my students use the Instagram. They just WhatsApp her. So it's purely skills, which is transferable without a boot camp or bencho camp. And I don't want any of you to think I'm racist because I'm pointing this shit out. Oh, no, you're talking about Indians again, or you're calling them sheeps. No, shut up. Somebody has to say the truth, even though there's zero viewers here. Zero viewers here. So let me change the title again because they're just not getting it. So right now it's called calling out Indian day game sheeps, not approaching brainwashed. Let me try another title. Why Indians don't approach anymore. 2024. Let's try that one. All right. So basically, what I teach is skill maxing, being whitewashed. So you're 4 out of 10. I can raise your looks by making you V-shaped and looking whitewashed. You don't need to have big muscles or steroid maxing. You don't need a boot camp as the only option. And to get a level 3 student, the sheeps, they have to worship infields first, and they get stuck worshiping. You can't listen to two masters, as they say in the Bible. You're diluted with worshiping whites first. And none of my students do that. And when I get Indian laid again and again, you see nothing but indifference because you have automatic thinking. Worship white, then your own race, and then all the other pills and Johnny Elite last. You double down on worshiping, even though I post a video of my students being interviewed, telling you what he did and how he got laid without using status maxing or even alcohol maxing or romantic flirts. So it's easy if you stop bench holding, you'll start getting amazing results when you listen to Johnny Elite. So the first uncomfortable truth is why Indians, here's the first thing. Indians have the most mental illnesses, bench holding, and mentally imploding for day gamers. You're like, what are you talking about? Well, the big idea is not to sound racist, but most Indians, they have the highest ADHD in the world, the highest prevalence. When I start looking at scientific studies, most Indians, hey, finally somebody's here. Maybe the title was wrong. I'm just going to keep preaching and turn this into a video afterwards. But most Indians, for example, they have the highest ADHD in the world. There's like 36% prevalence. You're like, whoa, what the fuck? You're saying 1 in 3 Indians or more than 1 in 3 Indians have ADHD. You cannot be Indian without ADHD, believe it or not, especially the day gamers. It's impossible. They have no ability to focus. So therefore, they have lower self-esteem and higher ego because they're not always competent. So they have the highest ADHD. And I found in the psychological studies, for most of you, it's a detriment and it works against you. It lowers your self-esteem and it raises your ego. Genetically, they have a super high ego for Indians. Narcissistic, controlling parents. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, hey, beta, you're older. Why are you not married? Huh? Why are you not married? You're older. Let me find a wife for you. Maybe you can choose from a couple of different wives, or potential wives. It's up to you. Oh, you got to make our family proud, You got to make our family proud. What will others think? That's what their parents are like. You got to be good at school and no social skills. But now you got to get married because you're a retirement plan. You got to send money with remittance back to India. Beta. Beta means son in Hindi. So that's how they're like. They have narcissistic, controlling parents that makes you do well in school. Of course, not all Indians can leave India because most of them fail because of ADHD. The reason why they can never make it out of India is because most people want to be engineers. Only like 10% of them are not bench holding enough. That's why I don't teach Indian students from India anymore. They're all engineers. and they're all gonna stab you in the back. They're just low functioning. They're like you know, they're like Indians, right? They're like sheeps. They can repeat whatever their lessons, which is, you know, engineering. They just keep repeating over and over like a bunch of zombies. And most of the Indians don't make it out of there. And the ones who make it out of there, they have the most resilience and the most control over their ADHD. All right. Only 2 people view the video. Seriously. It's okay. I'm still going to turn into like a bunch of mini videos. You know how many views does my video have so far? 3 fucking views. That's how much people don't like Indians. Well, regardless, the ones who do pass this process, they make 6 figures with their Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's means if you're an engineer and that's your first job, the odds of you being Asperger's is probably very high. Just like dating coaches, lots of them are engineers. Indians, even Asians, they're Asperger's. You can safely bet that Asperger's syndrome that you have, because you have to remember a bunch of stupid lines or use cheesy verbals. Todd V was an engineer, and other self-proclaimed coaches. They're engineers, so you love to listen to lines for day game, like Todd V and self-proclaimed coaches, and mystery method like Aspie shit. Or London day game. That's why Indians like to suck off London day game. Worship the whites first, and then worship Indians for coaches. If they can do it, you can do it. Not really. You can't status max, or you'll be learning how to use alcohol and heavy baromasculation. However, then you listen to Red Pill. Then you're Red Pill. All the Indians are Red Pill. Every single one. After Red Pill, they're Black Pilled, right? And then they're fucking Mgtow. They start building up their status. Oh, but I can't approach it. I don't have enough muscles. I don't have enough status. Completely brainwashed. Completely brainwashed. Yep, still 3 people. What the fuck? Well, thank you for those 3 that showed up. I'll turn this into a video and just private this video. I'm gonna finish it regardless. So let's see here. So you're delusional, you're low self-esteem because you're ADHD. You can't stop mentally imploding and backstabbing and having sociopathic traits because it's like a ADHD, high narcissism, low self-esteem, delusional disorders, a fractured brain. That's why it's easy to market to you guys if you worship. You don't have nothing makes sense. It's not A plus B equals C. They manipulate, here's A, here's the half truth, here's B. It's all game or it's all status. And C, you draw your conclusions. This is important because Indians, unless they microdose on LSD, I'm not recommending you do that. They may cross the neural pathways. I'm not saying coaches do that, but if they do, then they can control their bench holding, their mental illnesses. In the hardware of your brain for your Asperger's, high cortisol, double chin, ADHD, skinny fat for Indians who are vegans with loose skin. But however, they have no focus. Therefore, during inflation, you focus more on work, you have low self-esteem, high ego, you're delusional, you no longer approach, you're completely Mgtow. Men going their own way. That's Indians right now, completely Mgtow. All right, still 3 views. So we better turn this into a normal video afterwards. Let me continue. So the second uncomfortable truth is Indians are ultimately always level 3 sheeps in most cases. They're like bags of money for boot camps or bench camps. The main thing to understand here is since they make more money and they'll always consider worshipping and boot camps first. Since I don't have a worship component, one of my students went to a black pill, then red pill status maxing and listened to all the other coaches and John Elite last. So they love the halo effect. Oh, if they're white, they must be good. If they're strong, then they must be good. Because they have no social intelligence. Because of that one trait, they trust that over everything else. Then they trust Indian dating coaches. And I'm not saying that automatically you should dismiss them. I'm just saying you have a choice of who you choose. Because right now you don't have a choice. It's just Johnny Elite last. White dating coaches, Indian, Red pill, black pill, Mgtow, John Elite. What the fuck? Why not John Elite first? Then other Indian coaches second, and white's third. Why don't you change the order? Then you actually get laid more. What the fuck? So yeah, an Indian student just took mental trauma cure recently, and there was so much crap in his head by worshipping a really delusional fractured brain. That means Indians do not learn new things. They don't read. They cannot focus. They only consume red pill content now, and black pill, and Mgtow, and other Indian dating coaches or white dating coaches. John Elite last. Right now, they're not even listening. The only thing that they can do is absorb white dating coaches' garbage that race don't matter. Then they go for their own like race and red pill. They're literally gaslighting themselves. Well, I'm the only one posting nonstop late testimonials in the United States and Canada. Is not in easy places. It's always John Elite last. All right. So what's the third uncomfortable truth? Is that recent Indian students, they got okay. So let's play a little bit of the mental trauma cure so we can hear what the student had to say. By no means this is a complete testimonial, but let's hear what's going on. Okay. Maybe I should make a part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this. Let's hear what the Indian student had to say. Okay.
About a week ago, completed the mental trauma cure program.
This guy's Indian. So I have to censor his face first. I just got this. So he's complete mental trauma cure and then went through all his mental traumas. A lot of Indians have traumas because they get beaten by their parents. I'm not saying he's been beaten. He's not been beaten. Some of them gets beaten. Some of them get emotionally abused. Some of them gets like, you know, controlling parents. You gotta get married. You gotta get married if you're the retirement plan. But
So a little backstory on that. I was quite ADHD when it came to the tasks
yep.
he was assigning me to do. But what he did was he recommended this program to me because he felt that I needed to clear up all these traumas that I had in order to be more productive in my life and also help me have a more carefree, positive, and fun vibe.
Yep.
And I can say that it actually does work. I'm a lot more happier by taking this program. Now, just to give you some insight on it, it is quite long. And depending on the amount of traumas you have,
Yeah, it's not supposed to be that long. It's supposed to be 10 hours. But we went over the fucking 10 hours. And the first time ever, I had to take a nap. He had to take a nap. It was too long. And then he continues afterwards.
it took almost a whole entire day. And both of us passed out. It was quite extensive, but he's willing to take the time to make sure that these traumas are cleared out. So I had quite a lot of trauma, and I could talk to you a little bit about it. Some of the things that was traumatizing me were things such as the black pill,
Ooh.
the red pill, and all these pills that are out there, and joining these Reddit forums.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. You know, for this student, he had 2 girlfriends at the same time. He got a same day lay in 2023 for his testimonial, but he was very unhappy because he'd been blackpilled. Indians fall for every pill there is. Every pill, red pill, black pill, Mgtow, like they fall for it all. Other Indian dating coaches. That's why he didn't, you know, he said to me, John, don't I need some status? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What happened to you? Whenever he goes to, okay, I first got him to stop going to black pill forums and stuff like that. Then he fucking went to red pill. After he went to red pill, I told him to stop. Then he goes like he worships other Indians. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but I'm just saying there's a third option, which is Johnny Lee. It should not be the last option. It should be the first option. Have some critical thinking. Then he's stuck. Then he goes to other shit. White dating. It's always something else. But the only person that got him laid over and over was me. The only one person.
Like Asian masculinity. And all of these were just burdening.
Yeah, he was actually an Asian masculinity pill as an Indian. I was like, what the fuck? You're not even Asian. Oh, of course, when he's in Vancouver, every time you see a bunch of creepy, receding hairline white guys with Asian women with square jawlines, I'm just saying, it's traumatizing because it makes you think, like, oh, there's a hierarchy.
Me in more ways than one. I felt more depressed and I didn't feel like wanting to approach anymore because of all these limiting beliefs that were placed upon me because of the red pill and the black pill and this Asian masculinity movement. And I can safely say I'm a lot happier now. I feel more at ease knowing all this is what behind me and in the past, and I'm ready to move forward and move on. And with the black pill stuff, I just got so deep into it. I just thought, oh, if you're an Indian guy, you're screwed in dating, um if you don't have the proper jawline, then you're 6 feet tall, you're screwed in dating. And um, if you're bald, then you're screwed in dating as well. And that's what I initially thought. I thought, hey, I'm an Indian guy and I'm totally screwed. Girls are gonna look at me, they're gonna look at my brown skin and just disqualify me right away. However, you can look at the testimonials themselves that actually dispute that. And what I find very interesting from this trauma is that he really digs deep into your into your mind as to why you believe in it, and he does a lot of things to basically destroy those beliefs. And I can't tell you what they are, but I can tell you they work. Um, he definitely will use a lot of, tactics to try to destroy your beliefs that you have. And that's what he will do. He will destroy these beliefs. And now going to the red pill after
Always red pill.
debunking the black pill, now we got to go to the red pill. This red pill ideology. Oh, if you're not like a top 1% of man, you're screwed in dating. And if you're not rich, like rich as fuck, then you cannot succeed in dating. Which, John's students who aren't super rich, they're not in the top 1%, are getting results. So you can't really dispute that because their evidence is right there. And one of the biggest traumas that I've had is just seeing, well, let me tell you, I came from Vancouver, and one of the biggest traumas that I've ever had just lingering in the back of my mind is the amount of these balding, ugly white guys with these regular looking Asian females. Now I'm not even East Asian, so that shouldn't bother me. However, constantly seeing that on a daily basis,
yeah, I see it too,
rubbed me the wrong way, and I felt so angry at life. I was depressed. I just had a very angry vibe about me, and because of that, and I hated like having this weight down on me. But now I feel at ease with that. In fact, this trauma cure worked better than I expected. Now instead of paying $18,000 for years of therapy, John does it in one day. It's amazing because for the amount that you pay for his trauma, you're not paying $18,000 to sit at go to a psychologist just for him to repeat the same thing you're saying and try to just comfort talk you. That's bullshit. It doesn't work. John actually, it takes the time to dissect the problem and come up with a solution to get rid of those beliefs. And like I said, that the balding white guy um, and the Asian girl that I used to see quite often in Vancouver. That was quite, yeah, it rubbed me the wrong way, and it kind of traumatized me, made me have a lot of limiting beliefs because of that. And John was able to fix that up. And in fact, now all these traumas that I've had, they're all kind of comical. And I think it's worked even better than I expected.
So basically, yeah, he took the mental trauma cure, and for him, he's finally gotten over all this trauma and stuff. So he's gotten over this trauma for this Indian student. If that's the case, then he's been red pilled. He's been black pilled. It wasn't some bullshit I've been saying. It wasn't. All this time when I talk about Indians, it's always John Elite last. And here's the third uncomfortable truth is that the most recent Indian student, he got a same day lay in the United States, not in some easy country. He did opposite of what 99% of all the other Indians or Indian dating coaches would teach. And he has low SMV. He was whitewashed, which was frowned upon, but it works because you guys don't realize. You guys believe that being brainwashed, that you either have to have muscles, that's one option with romantic flirts. The other option is that you need to be status maxing. But you don't realize there's a third option. It's not just a Johnny Lee option, is my Pakistani mentor dresses whitewash. He talks like a white guy. He has no status maxing. He has no Instagram. His girlfriend is 10 out of 10 in looks. Other dating coaches, their so-called girlfriend, they call 10 out of 10s. They look like a 7.9 compared to his girlfriend. His girlfriend is so hot, I'm not allowed to share her pics. It's just for me. But I can confirm, and I swear, and on my entire career, that she is by far the most attractive woman I've ever seen. That she even came to Vancouver. She even came here to BC to be with him. That's his girlfriend when he was on his Europe trip. He doesn't go on vacations. And he gets like a 10 out of 10. She's even more attractive than most Russian women. You know how Russian women, they look like they're almost perfect? But I even said to my Pakistani mentor, your girlfriend's more attractive than even what Andrew Tate can even possibly get. That's almost like an 8 point something for Andrew Tate or late. The women he gets with his red pill shit, they're like 8.7, 8.6, something like that. He's getting 10s. And it's like, what the fuck? And here's a guy who's dressed whitewashed. He talks like a white guy. Exactly why I teach. But you guys are not listening to that. He's a natural. Maybe that's easier for him. And he's different. But I can still teach what he does, which is perfect body language, perfect emotional control, perfect social skills. I can teach that. But you guys are not listening. He's the best day gamer I've ever seen in my life. Ever. He got 15 lays in front of me, all 9 out of 10s in the mansion. And women just cannot stop going after him. He has no clout. Yeah, sure, he has a $3 million mansion, but you guys are not getting it. This is what I'm teaching, but you guys don't want to hear it. It's like bouncing off of your brain. You first listen to white dating coaches first, other Indian coaches, like I said, it's up to you to choose. But why does John Lee have to be last? Because red pill is next, then black pill, and then Mgtow, and Johnny Lee is the dead fucking last to you guys. Because you guys think, oh, if you can do it, you can do it. Like, okay, stop ignoring my student results. That's the problem. So he was whitewashed for that student, and it was frowned upon, but it works. Like I said, my Pakistani mentor is whitewash. He spoke like a white person. 10 out of 10. Girlfriend, good body language. Well, my students have a 45-degree body language, and they go for same-day lays. My Pakistani mentor does not. He does not get flakes. Just like my students don't get flakes when you're leveled up like a natural. He did not status max at all. He does not use his Instagram. I've never seen him once ever do that. He doesn't send pictures of his mansion to women and stuff like that. I only see him do it once with an 18-year-old girl. He said, he said, "Oh, I gotta take a picture of the mansion. She wants to see what it looks like because she's 18, right? Before he drives her over there." I remember my Pakistani mentor. There was this woman who was 18 years old. She's wearing a bikini out there in the mall. I think in Nordstrom. I don't know why she's doing that. All these other guys are trying to pick her up. My Pakistani mentor wants her. He approaches her, insta hangs out with her, gets her out of there among all the other guys. He steals her away. And then afterwards, she comes on over, he bangs her. So what the fuck? This guy's like fucking 47, 48, and he's like banging an 18-year-old, being whitewashed without using status. And that's the only one time I've seen him sharing a picture of the mansion because she's 18 and she wanted to see what it looks like. I took the picture for him, I sent it to him, whatever. But I've never seen him use Instagram. But you guys don't want to listen. It bounces off your fucking brains. It bounces off your brains because you think, oh, it must be for Indians. You got a status max. That's the only. This guy's getting a 10 out of 10 girlfriend without status maxing, banging 18-year-olds. But he bangs like many different ages. However, he bangs an 18-year-old that's really, really attractive. She scoffed at me when she saw me. She's like, ugh, Asian, ugh. You guys just don't fucking get it. So this is key because there's another option you have not considered. You're free to choose whoever you want as a coach, but you have automatic thinking because you're brainwashed. And John Elite becomes last. Maybe you should reconsider the order of what you worship. Because if my student could get laid in the United States in same day lay, without status, without any of that stuff, which is a miracle, then that's awesome. You assume just because they're white, they're right, or the same race or red pill overrides my opinion. I got so many Indians laid in Western countries and they're married, a lot of them. I know what you're thinking. If you have to worship them and only listen to them if you want, right? Because you think if they can do it, you can do it. But what about my Pakistani mentor, the third funnel, whitewashed? Well, the tricky thing is that you don't realize that you're an engineer. You cannot do it. You have obligations. You can't status max with women in your social media with pre-selection because as an engineer, your bosses will fire you. Your coworkers will get jealous. You're not an entrepreneur with freedom. So there is maybe a small percentage of Indians that can do that, but it doesn't mean that's you. So I've assembled the 3 months of proficiency bundle so you can be a level 3 student because Indians can afford it. You know, for all the sheeps out there that are spending so much money for boot camps, okay? So much money for boot camps for the sheeps. They're spending over 5,600 for a 7-day boot camp, or they're spending over like $20,000 for these 7-day boot camps. My 3 months of proficiency costs less than those kind of boot camps. It's less than $20,000. It's less than $5,600. It is, and you get every single course, including Elite 60, which is secret. So that's the thing. It's like less than their 7-day boot camp. And most of my students who took 3 months of proficiency, most of them, they already got married or they found a life partner. It has every day game course in one. So you don't need a boot camp. You have all my online training and without the boot camp, and you can do this at your own time, even if you're busy. I'll adapt to your schedule. You can aim to get that lay right away. And then you can focus on the marriage or whatever you want. A lot of Indians want to get married because they have pressure from their family. Oh, Bita, you're not married now. You're getting older. If you're not married, right? Once you hit 30 years old and you're Indian, your parents will always want you to get married all the time. Oh, Bita, why are you not married? I'm not trying to be racist, nothing moving my head like that. Indians talk like that. It's a fact because they're emotional. Like I said, it's a stereotype, but that's how they talk like. Pita, why are you not married? You're 30. What would the other people think? So you can aim to get that laid right away. Then you can worry about the marriage afterwards. Lots of people with lower SMV are taking no action due to the black pill and red pill and inflation for Indians. It's always worship whites first, worship their own race, thinking that that's the solution. Then red pill, then black pill, then Johnny Elite last. Yes, as I'm saying, this is more suitable for Indians. For 3 months of proficiency, if other training programs are too demanding for your excessive ADHD, that's why you take boot camps. Because you think you have more ADHD, you have more money, you're a level 3 sheep. You might as well take a boot camp. But however, is that the best solution? Because boot camps can cost $20,000 or $5,600. But you're dismissing John Elite, where the student pay a lot less and you get better results for a day game. This is for those who don't want to use status maxing because you're an engineer. You can't fucking use status maxing. You're an engineer, you have obligations, you have a boss. They see women pre-selection status in your profile, they're gonna fucking fire you. They're gonna fire you, and then afterwards, your coworkers are gonna get jealous. You can't do that. You can't travel with third world money status advantage and have the exotic advantage. You don't have a high status job. You're like, engineer is a great job, John. No women finds that as a pussy wetter. I can guarantee you, they think it's a fucking nerd. So, or you don't want to use alcohol maxing that you learn in boot camps. Getting her drunk, that's the secret sauce. So she forgets your accent. And you don't have to deal with objections behind that. But that's not a way, that's cheating. If you're paying $5,600 to learn how to use alcohol maxing, that's evil. That's sociopathic. So what I do is I help you implement so you have a long-term solution that is sustainable. Of course, you want speed, that's very important. But you also have more assurances that you'll do better in the long term if it leads to a marriage partner or a life partner utilizing the skill set. And I, as the world's best day game coach with 631 Leipo testimonials, where my students are focused on same day lays this year. By same day lays, I don't mean like fucking going for same day lays and using alcohol that you learn in a boot camp. That's fucking awful. That's rage the Mao, not entirely true. Well, here's what I found out. A lot of Indians, they're completely red pilled and they will not approach unless they have enough status and their Instagram is being built for their Instagram closing. For some reason, they believe that. Maybe they've been worshiping Indian dating coaches and stuff like that. Not that there's anything wrong with it. They're just engineers. They cannot do it. Or they believe that you need to have romantic flirts and using alcohol maxing and you need big muscles. So Indians are telling me before I start approaching John, I need to build my muscles. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to approach. Or John, I need to have enough status and clout. They're red pilled. They're gaslighted. And the only Indians that approach are in London, getting women that are 4 out of 10. So, see that? You see that? How about this? Guys, everyone look at this. You see that? He's saying I'm wrong, but you have to get your Instagram page ready and corrected. You see that? This Indian is gaslighted right there. Rage the Mao is probably Indian that believes you need to have a. You're actually proving my point that you are brainwashed. That's why you go to white coaches, Indians, red pill. That's red pill right there. Clout chasing. You see that? He's a clout chasing. That's entirely fucking wrong. You don't have a second opinion. You're all a bunch of fucking sheeps. Don't you understand that? Bench-holding sheeps. Indian day gamers will not approach unless their Instagram is right. But that's bullshit. Because my last Indian student did not use any Instagram or use alcohol, which you also learn in boot camps. Other dating coaches will teach you how to use alcohol, escalate super hard. They'll say it's all game, but they don't show that part of their students. They say, oh, here's our infield, but it's all alcohol maxing at the end. But you think you need your Instagram, but the last Indian students, none of them have an Instagram. So, for example, this guy who I was playing for the mental trauma cure does not use a fucking Instagram. Let me switch to this account. Let me just play some of the Indian testimonials then. Then we'll see. Because one of them says he does not use Instagram. If I'm taking it out of context, then what do you mean? That's not entirely what you mean. You mean like partially? You don't need a fucking Instagram, guys. Indians, you don't need a fucking clout chasing. You're not fucking getting it. That's why you're brainwashed. You're so brainwashed. Then how the fuck did my last Indian student same day lay without a fucking Instagram? Or all of them? Huh? You don't want to listen to it. Let's play it.
Hey, how's everyone doing today? So today is April 17th. Yesterday on April 16th, I had a same day lay with the mixed Latino. She was mixed between Puerto Rican and Mexican. So the story goes that before I went to go day game, I went to go get a haircut that John recommends. And if you're thinking about being one of John's students, he'll recommend.
So there's a whitewash haircut. You don't need Instagram clothing. See, look at what he says. Yes, but everyone has an online paper. He's still brainwashed. This Indian is brainwashed. You have an online paper trail. You look strange if you're online ghost. Guess what? My students do not need an online paper trail. They don't even show her the Facebook. They don't even put anything on their Facebook. They're using WhatsApp. That's it. See, this guy's brainwashed. His opinions as facts. You need Instagram. You need to have online paper. He has, okay, he's going to debunk it. Here's an Indian without online paper trail.
Certain type of haircut that you should get. Not only that, but he also recommends the outfit that you should wear during day game. So after I went and got my haircut, I went to the mall where I saw her sitting there on her phone. So I approached with.
He's same day late without a fucking Instagram clothes, without social media. I'm not taking it out of context. You're brainwashed because you have opinions as facts. You need to have a paper trail. You need to have status. You need to have a good Instagram, at least a decent one. That's what you're trying to say. But I'm debunking you. You're taking it out of context.
I read opener, and was after that I transitioned. Then I went into the conversation skill flow drill that John teaches.
So social skill flow drill.
And his products. If you guys don't have the Elite 30 or the Elite Access, or if you're not in the Facebook Inner Circle, because every month
you're not allowed to join Inner Circle.
John and his Inner Circle group members, we do a class on a certain subject. So I'm in there also, and you can watch the videos many times as you want. Not only that, but like he recommends being on this memory supplement from Amazon. So what does
yes, the reason why Indians they need supplements for their ADHD and their cortisol, that's why they're all skinny fat with big fucking necks. I ate a lot of bacon and the other day, so I'm kind of chubby. You know, I get a free pack of bacon if I order like $100 worth of meat. I got like 15 pieces of meat, including the bacon, a huge bacon. But however, saying that, most Indians are skinny fat with loose skin, even if they look like they're skinny. Always have loose skin because they're vegetarians. But they always believe you need Instagram, you need red pill, you need clout, you need to have a good Instagram.
Supplement do is once you take it, your mind expands while you're watching the Facebook Inner Circle group, but you retain more information the second or the third time you go around. So we did a class on facial expressions, flirting, talking slower, the conversation skill flow drill, and standing 45 degrees. I watched that class on the Facebook Inner Circle for like 2 days straight until I finally.
See, Indians don't get it. They're either game maxing using alcohol. That's what they learn in boot camps. Game max, that means game is not that effective if they need to use alcohol to close her and escalate her super hard, called bedroom escalation, or I call sociopathic escalation. Or they believe that they need to status max by being a 2 out of 10 looking Indian who has an engineering job. Oh, they need an Instagram to raise some points. They need to raise points for the lifestyle, 1 point. They need to raise for a high status job, which you do not have, beta. And also, you have a thorough money status advantage traveling around. That's another point. Exotic advantage, but you don't have that because you can't fucking travel. You're an engineer. Don't you guys fucking get it? No, but you got to have Instagram and try to look cool and have some pre-selection. You're a fucking engineer. Your boss is not going to like it. And also, it's like, oh, it's a paper trail. You got to show. No, you don't. Just go for fucking same day lays. And also, my Pakistani mentor, he doesn't use an Instagram. So why the fuck are you guys doing that? You need social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game tactics, which is same day lays without alcohol. But you guys don't get it. You need to use Instagram. Thank you for proving my point. I'm taking out of context. Tell me, what am I taking out of context? Because I'm If the students can get laid here, then there's another funnel that you guys are ignoring. Go to the white fucking dating coaches first, then Indians, then fucking black pill or red pill, right? You're red pill. You're down the ladder. You go from white to Indian coaches, you don't get any results. Then you go down again to fucking red pill. Then you go black pill, then you go Mgtow. Like most Indians, you guys set up their Instagram before they approach. They're Mgtow. They're men going their own fucking way. Men going their own way.
Mastered it. And I applied it in the field, and I got the same day laid. So after a certain amount of time, he recommends that you go on an Insta date. So that's what B and this girl did. I was like, hey, let's go get a smoothie. I'm getting kind of thirsty. So me and her, we went to the smoothie place, and that was the only drink that I got her. Some of these other coaches, I heard use alcohol, and that's kind of weird because, if the other drunk, she can't consent, and that's like great. So I suggest you don't do that. The only thing I did was I just got her a smoothie. So we were drinking a smoothie together. Then after a certain amount of time, I was like, hey, let's go watch a movie that's like down this hallway. So me and her, we went to go watch a movie, and we decided on what movie to watch. So we were watching it together. Then afterwards, I took her to my car. Then I wanted to go drop her at her house, but there was this park that looked really nice because the scenery. So she suggested we go there for a little bit, and we went there and we chatted a little bit. Then after that, she was like, hey, let's go to my house. So I drove her and me to her house, and that's where I got my same day late, basically. So I just want to thank John for all the work he has put into his students. You guys should consider his programs because they're really helpful. And John goes above and beyond to make sure you are successful. Your success is his number one priority. I feel like I can go out and track and go on Insta date with any girl that I choose. And not only that, but recently I've been seeing that a lot of Indians, they've been having a lot of depression and ADHD issues. With ADHD and depression, John recommends certain type of supplements. Like I said, for the Facebook Peter Circle group, he recommends a list of supplements that will help you out during your day game. It'll make your mind calmer. It'll make you more happier. And not only that, but
yeah, most Indians, the reason why they're so brainwashed is very simple. Let's talk about their psychology. Because most Indians have the highest ADHD in the world, probably more than Latinos. They have the highest ADHD and they're Asperger's. That's why they're engineers. They're logical, but they have a lot of cortisol. They get triggered. Some of them are autistic and Asperger's at the same fucking time. They're engineers. And the ones who are too emotional, too ADHD, they never make it out of India. Talk about game with younger ladies, not older. That's fucking stupid. My Pakistani mentor banged an 18-year-old without any sort of status. You might think, oh, Gen Z, they all care about Instagram. No, just fucking same day lay them. My students also bang younger women, and they never ever had to use their Instagram. I have a 52-year-old student who's a 52-year-old man in Germany. He bangs a 21-year-old, 25, 21, again, first approach, zero Instagram. You think, oh yeah, because they're Gen Z, right? They always check your Instagram. No, fuck you. You're wrong. You're completely wrong. They look at social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game tactics. They look at whitewash fashion, husband material. You close them in 1 to 6 approaches. It's like you're literally having opinions as facts. You're limiting yourself. That's why you have no social skills. You're trying to compensate with your Instagram. Ridiculous.
If you are depressed or you feel not motivated to go do day game, John will help you get motivated so you can go out there and get results. He really cares about his student. And I was honestly the worst student that he had because
that's the problem. He believes that to get younger women, right? You see that? He's brainwashed. He's probably brainwashed by other dating coaches. He's brainwashed. And I'm fighting his brainwashing, his cognitive dissonance. Despite the evidence that I show you in even students getting women way younger, it's like, no, Instagram is like, it's just proving my point. Are you Indian? I bet you're Indian. Probably 99%. Beta.
Lazy as fuck. So eventually I did this one.
Fucking bench-holding.
Exercise.
This is how brainwashed people are. You're proving my point. Just like last video when I talk about Latinos and they show up with the Latino fuck behavior, the stubbornness, one-track mind. Yup, and proud. Exactly. Proud and brainwashed. Like a sheep. So this guy is Indian. You can tell 100%. He is so brainwashed that he has to use clout. I'm not telling you to be ashamed. I'm telling you all Indians are brainwashed. That's the premise of this video. You're proving my point. Just like Indians or Latinos in the last video, I talked about the 4 traits of Latino behavior. Number 1, one-track mind, throw shit against the wall, see what sticks. Number 2, the wrong path to sociopath fails in 4 months. Doing it their way fails 3 times a year. Number 3, autistic meltdown. Number 4, Number 4 is this, they quit and they resurrect themselves. They go back to one. They repeat this 3 times a year, and they fail, and they have the meltdown, you know? That's Latinos. And they show me that one track mind when they're on YouTube live commenting. And however, on this video, as you being Indian, you're proving to me that your head is so far up your ass, worshipping so hard that as an Indian, the only thing that you believe that is gonna work is if you have a hint of paper trail of some kind of Instagram because you believe that other coaches telling you that that's the only way, and now you're stuck. Yet my students are getting laid nonstop. They're even getting married without all this clout. They have no Instagram. They have no pictures on their Facebook, and they're a ghost, as you say. You're brainwashed, and you're so proud. You have opinions as facts.
Helping with my self-esteem. Me and John worked on a little visualization board I'm currently working on now, and I think that also has helped me too. So he really cares about his student, and honestly, he's like honestly the best dating coach that you can get right now. Because there's no other dating coaches that post all their student testimonials.
Yeah, they don't have dating lay testimonials. You know, clout chasing. It's not even game. It's like, oh yeah, let's do a sub game. Okay, if you can do it, more power to you. That's awesome. But most people don't have that kind of status. You know, if you're an engineer, you can't have a high status job. You can't travel all the time. You can only go on 1 week vacation. You don't have a third world money status advantage in your social media or exotic advantage. You just sucking them off. Like I said, it doesn't mean I dislike these kind of philosophies. I mean, this is like a game only one person can do. But if it's not effective for most Indians and you worship thinking that's the only way, what about this way? Same day lays, whitewash fashion, not high status frame, whitewash fashion, not Indian washed, husband material, same day lays. Why not do this?
You're only posting theirs, which instead of doing is not their students. So why would you go there? And not only that, but I'm Indian as well. But I lived in America my whole life, so I don't have the Indian accent, and I dress like really nice when I go out on day game because that's really like honestly, if you dress really nice, you know how to have a conversation, you know how to flirt in a certain time period, you know how to tease, like calibrations and facial expressions. You should be good to honestly get a Insta date. Just know it's pretty simple. Once you practice and master the skill, you should get it down. But once again, I want to thank John for his help. I want to thank him again for letting me back into his coaching because I know that I don't deserve to be here because he has one of all the other students that he needs to focus on. So that's my video testimonial. I hope for future students that this finds really helpful. I'm reading this comment. It said, "So do you mean to tell me that you can get a 5?"
Okay, so but whenever we listen to his other one that I posted or reposted, the interview, he talks about Instagram that you don't need it.
How's everyone doing today? So
I called him.
Loosen her up and deal with objections. Have I ever once did that? Hell no. Not even once. Because being unethical. So if that's how they're get results and you don't show up for it, that's pretty. What's the first thing you heard of red pills? You know what the are red pills, right?
No, no. Once again, this Indian guy is the biggest stereotype of what I've been saying earlier. Earlier, I've been calling Indians Mgtow, men going their own way. So you're calling it difference between being stuck and hiatus. Indians call it hiatus. I call it Mgtow, men going their own way. They stop approaching because they're red pilled. They're stuck, like you. They're stuck because they're trying to build their status for their Instagram because that's what they worship, or they use alcohol. That's why you're stuck. That's why it says Indian. Let me see the title. Does it say Indians are Mgtowed? I'm not sure. Live. Why don't approach anymore, right? I should just write Mgtow, Mgtow. Most Indians are Mgtowed, like you are. They're stuck building their Instagram. See, right there. My original title, because people did not watch the video early on. That's why I used the Mgtow term. Most Indians are Mgtow. That was my original title. You know that? When we look at the very beginning of what I said, when we read the first sentence, when I started out when nobody was here, this is why I wrote. I wrote Namaste. Did you know most Indian POAs or NPCs or non-playable characters, they're all Mgtowed? Right here, I'm reading. They are all Mgtowed, just setting things up, being red-pilled for clout, and men going their own way. What you will learn in this about Indians is how they are sheep. That's what I'm reading right now. That's why I wrote earlier on. You are not here. They're mentally stuck by not taking action, wasting another year by being brainwashed. Okay, I talk about a book that I'm going to make for $5 and people from India cannot buy it. 10 bonuses. I got so many Indians laid, married for day game. I know what I'm talking about. But by NPC, it's just a phrase meaning non-playable character. or background characters that exist that nobody cares about, not the main character, basically. They don't approach, they worship other day game coaches, and they're stuck, mentally stuck. Wait a minute, this sounds exactly like you. Mao. Everything that's coming out of your mouth, Mgtow is like whatever, red pilled, clout. The reason why you're not approaching and you're going your own way is and you're building your Instagram and your paper trail is because you've been brainwashed by other Indian dating coaches. And I'm not saying that I dislike Indian dating coaches that go red pill. I mean, more power to them if they can do it. But you are not that. You're an engineer, probably, or some logical job, and you can't do this kind of stuff. I'm preparing to approach. Big difference. Being out of the game. Preparing. Okay. Preparing. So rage the Mao. Let's read this again. Preparing to approach. But this is exactly why I made the video. I say most Indians are not approaching because they're preparing to build muscles or they're red pilling. You're proving my point. You're the most perfect proof of all my points. Well, the reason why Instagram is being sold right now by Asians is because they have no fucking value. They're trying to look smack. They have no social skills and social calibrations and emotional control. That's why they like to use Instagram so they can use it on their vacations by being passport bros. I'm the only person that's against this, so therefore I'm going in the uphill battle. But who has the most day game late testimonials in the world? I have more than every other fucking Asian Indian dating coach for day game in the world. I have more than their fucking night game. Who has the most? I have 631 late po testimonials. What the fuck do they have? Like they have 6 of them or something from boot camps, and they're god. They're the best. Nobody can beat them because it's 6. One of my students, I just posted in a Facebook group because you guys are no longer listening unless I post in a fucking thing. I just posted a recent student right now who just got laid with another stunner. He has 6 lays, more than their fucking boot. See that? Here's an Italian student, his 6th lay, stunner, attractive woman. Yeah, that's the lay pic. Don't worry, it's censored, so I cannot get in trouble. You cannot see her vag or boobs. It's all censored. If that's 6 lays and the other student has 6 lays and none of them are using Instagram. No, none of my students are using Instagram. I'm going against the whole fucking world that's brainwashing you. You see that? All of the points are proven true. Listen to this. Let me read this again. Namaste. Did you, just to make sure that I'm not just making something up, I'm reading this from my script that I wrote a long time ago. That's proving my point because you guys are so brainwashed by Instagram. Let's do this again. Namaste. Okay, namaste means hello or something in Hindi. Did you know that most Indian POAs are NPCs, not non-playable characters? Like I'm reading the same thing again. They're all Mgtow, just setting things up. See, it says setting things up, and let's read what you had to write. Oh, now you're deleting what you're writing. Oh, that's convenient. Regadimao. But I already read what you wrote, and I'm going to use that into a video. I'm just going to cut the last part where you're proving my point. You see that? Indians are all brainwashed. They're all fucking brainwashed. All into clout Instagram. You're all brainwashed. Is that the only way? Okay, how many people have been able to do it for day game? Not using a setup game. Not using like fucking night game and mixing parties. How many of you? You know, I don't need your fucking permission. You showed up on my video on a public place. And guess what? You said this, your own words. Everything that you said has proven my point. So let me read this again. Namaste. Did you know that most Indian POAs are NPCs or non-playable characters? They're all Mgtow or just setting things up with red pilled for clout or Mgtow men going their own way. And you're saying there's nothing wrong with Mgtow, as you said before you delete it. Just like another Latino that showed up proving my point of the Latino fuck behavior, Indians are proving my point. That number one, they go to white dating coaches first, they fail with them, then they go to their own race. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but because and then they go to red pill, which you done, then black pill, then Mgtow. They're setting things up all the time, always setting up. Oh, I don't have enough muscle, so I cannot start in 2024. I don't have enough clout. What the fuck? Not enough clout. It's always setting things up. And there you are. Proving my point. As I wrote this in the beginning when nobody was here, namaste, did you know that most Indian POAs or NPCs are non-playable characters? They're all Mgtow, just setting things up, being red-pilled for clout, or Mgtow, men going their own way. What you will learn in this about Indian, I should have wrote the word video. What you will learn in this video, fucking spelling mistake, about Indians is how they are all sheeps. They are mentally stuck by not taking any action, wasting another year being brainwashed. Exactly what happened to Rage Mao. Is that how, am I saying it correctly? If you're interested, okay, me writing a book, blah, 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 just skip that part. And the next part I wrote, it got so many Indians laid married for day game. I know what I'm talking about. So I got them married without clout, basically. But NPC is just a phrase meaning that they are not main characters. That's a Gen Z phrase. Basically, what I mean that main character means you're in control of your life, and NPCs mean non-playable character. It's like a video game. They're just a background character that has no importance. So I'm saying you guys are not approaching. So this is what it says. Or background characters just existing that nobody cares about for a day game. They don't approach, as I wrote here, they don't approach. They worship other day game coaches, and they are mentally stuck. Exactly like Rage Mel. They're not approaching. They're setting up because, as he tells me, you need to have Instagram, but he's stuck. Isn't that hypocritical? Like, they're so brainwashed. Now they will fight so hard because they're so brainwashed. They've given up their authority. They're gaslighted. This is what it feels like to be brainwashed. And then this is what I wrote. They don't approach. They are worshiping other dating coaches and mentally stuck up at day game coaches. They can afford most expensive boot camps. So basically, they can pay for $20,000 boot camps. Okay, that's a lot of money. Or they can pay for $5,600 for a 7-day boot camp because they're ADHD. They worship really hard. The more you worship, the more you pay for boot camps. I could get them laid like way less than that. Always setting up. So if you don't want to just set up all day and just set up and set up and set up, train here, Indians. You don't always have to think white first. Indian dating coaches, pills, right? Black pill, red pill, Mgtow, and then Johnny Elite last. Or Queef and Casanova first and all the other Asian coaches, and then Johnny Elite last. No. They don't have other fucking Asian dating coaches don't have day game late testimonials in 2024. I'm the only one that has it. So why listen to them when they only have night game? You say we're like sheep, but you're treated like us. No, I'm not treating you like cattle. I'm not treating you guys like cattle. This is what's treating like cattle. Let me debunk what you're saying. So other Indian coaches, of course, I'm just saying this is my opinion. This is not to not to hurt their business. But here's what I've observed, in my opinion. Okay? I'm not defaming them, I'm not making fun of their business, not that I care. But this is how you're being brainwashed. Number one, you're a sheep. You're being fed nonstop. Okay, here's infields, right? Student infields, you don't see the alcohol thing. Here's clout, right? Hanging around women. Okay, that's good. Good for them, right? I think that's awesome. However, as sheep, you don't have, now your brain stops thinking. And then you go to their day game courses. This is why I bought this sheep. You see that? The wool. You see that? They'll make you grow your wool first, right? They'll make you grow the wool like a sheep. So therefore, they want to fatten you up. Their day game courses do not have lay testimonials, or at least like allegedly, because I don't know. I have not seen any for it. It's all their testimonials are all in boot camps with conversion mechanism, where there's status, the coach's status. Okay, this is just my opinion, but I want to talk about this because I think objectively they're dismissing my coaching. Or you use alcohol in the bedroom and they record that as infields, and then you're stuck. You're stuck. Then you grow the fur, and then afterwards you're stuck, just like Rage Mao over there. You're completely stuck. As he said, yes, we are sheep, but you are one treating us like cat. Okay, I'm just reading what he's saying, so we can at least quote it before he deletes it. But for him, now that they fatten them up, they're like sheeps. They're like, they're like sheeps. After that, they go to the boot camp. This is what they do. They fatten you up for the coat. When that coat is fattened up, then you go to a boot camp. You go to a slaughterhouse. You sheeps become a slaughterhouse. You all get slaughtered, 20K gone. Like I said, some people, they may think it's worth it. I'm just saying, my students, I'm not going to criticize their business. I'm just going to say there's a second option or a third option. Johnny Elite should be the first option. If you don't want to status max, like Rage, whatever his name is, Mao, or use alcohol maxing with romantic flirts, if you don't want to do that, and be a sheep who gets slaughtered. So first of all, they fatten the coat, right, of the sheep. After they fatten the coat, they become in the slaughterhouse, the boot camps. They show up in the boot camps. If they get laid, that's great. Good for them. Alcohol maxing, good for you. But when you go back home, you can't get laid again because you don't know what to say. You don't know what to do in the easier country. My students get laid in the United States and Canada harder, not some fucking easy place for day game. And we're not talking about some setup game either or some mixed game. There's no night game or clout partying. None of this shit. They just same day lay. But if you can do that, more power to you. I say that's awesome. If you're that 1%, you have money, you have status, but not everyone can do that. They'll be stuck like Rage Mel, setting up all day. Yet my students are banging stunners like this. That looks even better than most or all white dating coaches or all dating coaches' girlfriends. This is a Russian woman. All my students, all their lays are way more attractive than what other dating coaches can get without status. Isn't that weird? If you look at his other testimonials, let me see if it's here. Because people are not getting it. So for this Italian guy, if he's not using any status maxing and he is just purely using skills, here's his other lay, another Russian. Let's look at another lay of his. I'm just scrolling through. I better bump some of this stuff up. Because there's so many students late, I just can't post them all. Oh yeah, this Indian guy over here, this bald little 5'5" guy, 5'4" actually, Indian. He's actually engaged this year to be married without using clout, and he just uses my social skill, social calibrations, and now he's gonna have a wife this year without status maxing and setting up like crazy. Okay, how else am I supposed to refer to you? You want? I could censor your name or something later on in the video if you want. That's not a problem. But whatever you said proves you're a sheep. And okay, let's see here. There's more of the Italian student here. Oh yeah, he bangs another hotter woman here, a Kazakhstan woman. They're like Russians mixed with some kind of Korean in Kazakhstan. Lay pics is all censored, so I cannot get in trouble. Stunner, without status maxing. Then he bangs another Russian over here, without status maxing. Then he bangs a Dua Lipa looking woman who's more prettier than Dua Lipa, the singer in Britain, without status maxing. Then that's her. There's the lay pic over there. Then he gets an Instagram model, fitness influencer, laid, white girl from the United States, without Instagram. And other Indian students are getting married without Instagram. So what the fuck? So, all right, send it to me. I'm on YouTube Live right now, but send it to me regardless. I'll talk in between. Don't you get it? Indians are completely brainwashed. And this is why I wrote, they are mentally stuck. They can afford the most expensive boot camps, thinks you need status or romantic flirts. I'm just reading off of what they are completely gaslighted and completely brainwashed with half-truth alcohol maxing in the bedroom and excessive bedroom escalation of drunk women, which they teach for their bedroom when she can't object being intoxicated. I'm not saying all of them do that. I'm just saying maybe one. I know it sounds crazy because you used to thinking that you need to worship a coach with your same ethnicity, just like him, whatever Mao is Indian, or worship first before you listen, right? So it talks about that. This is going to revolutionize the way why Indians are NPCs. They have zero chance this year for day game. So it makes a lot of sense. It talks about how you're all setting up and you're not approaching. You're proving my point. This is so accurate. I couldn't be more accurate if I tried. And there's like 3 levels of students. Level 1 is they spend $300 or something. And then, those type of Indians will always ask for a discount. And they're usually very poor and they get in trouble in society. They get in the news for being creepy. Or they're from India, sewer rats. I no longer train people from India. They're all kicked out. They're not even allowed to buy my $5 book in the future. Level 2, they'll spend more than they only spend 1,000 like a horse. You can lead a horse to water, but not make it drink more than $1,000. Most Indians are not that. Most Indians were sheeps before level 3. Most Indians were sheeps for other dating coaches. They'll spend so much money in their boot camps, their bench hold camps. Like a bunch of oh. No solutions. Okay. So let's debunk that. No solutions. All right. Here's like Indians that got laid with my coaching so far. Let's take a look at no solutions. Number 1, this guy just got a same day lay, and this was like last month. That's one solution there. Okay. This guy, 5'4" Indian over here, bald. He's getting married this year. No solutions, right? No clout. Here's an Indian person who, in 2023, he got a same day lay. He just took mental trauma cure. He's about to get laid this year. Let's see it. This guy, Canadian, no solutions. Here's a guy who was self-proclaimed high lay count guy, tall white coach, student, 5'5" Indian. He gets laid. He has 10 lays now. No solutions. Let's look at this 5'7" Indian in Australia. This dumb fuck. He gave me a video testimonial, but he also shared the screenshot with other coaches who screenshot it as their own testimonial. Fuck you. Here's another Indian student who's married, who's in Canada, now lives in Toronto. Right here. He's married with a woman above his looks level. No skinny fat Indian. No solutions. Here's the Indian losing his virginity. No solutions, as you say. No solutions. The only place that has solutions without alcohol, without status maxing. Here's another Indian with 2 girlfriends and 2 extra lays right here. This is my Pakistani mentor's mansion. No solutions, as you say. It's like, okay, if that's no solutions. Another Indian, he bangs a Latina, he bangs a white girl, he bangs the Asian. Right here. Hopefully you can see it. No solutions, as you say. The only solutions. Here's another Indian with 2 additional lays over here. Here's another Indian. He pulled twice on the boot camp, but when he got back home, he has like 4 lays. White girls. No solutions, as you say. Here's another East Indian. He got 2 lays. 2 pulls. I'm not sure what happened afterwards. I didn't keep in touch. Here's another guy with a long-term Latina girlfriend. He's still with her today. He was my old roommate. Indian, Gujarati. No solutions, Beta? Come on now. Don't be a Papa Chod. Here's another Indian. 3 more lays. No solutions. It's like, okay. I'm pretty sure there are some solutions here. You get my point? There are solutions here. If you go here, you end up being married. And there's other ones that have not made a video testimonial. They're engaged. And other ones that, still got some social circle lays. No solutions. But besides that, there's a lot of solutions here. So everything you've been saying, Rage Mall, is all wrong. And everything I've been saying so far in this thing. So level 3 is Indians. Those because they're engineers, they're sheeps. They'll spend more money because they have more money, they make more money. Indians actually make the most money. They have beaten Asians in the United States. Indians are now making the most money as engineers because they only let the engineers in with their visa, the HB1 visa or whatever it's called. And because they're Asperger's, they're making more money. They go to boot camps because they're ADHD. They cannot focus. So they don't listen to Johnny Late. They're so gaslighted. They don't realize, this is what I wrote. They don't realize sometimes they might worship things that aren't transferable to them, like status and alcohol maxing, which requires a boot camp as the only option. You see that? And I wrote, if they don't do that, they will do nothing and be NPC like Death Mao when they could have trained here first. NPC means non-playable character, not approaching, like Mgtow. Proving my point. You're gaslighted, which means your mind is fed with so much half-truths, misdirection. You can't even put one foot in front of another with your tongue sticking out, completely incapacitated. That's what I wrote. You can't even put one foot in front of another with your tongue sticking out completely because you're dumb enough to listen to propaganda and half truths. That means like clout chasing. Okay, if it works for other coaches, I would say congratulations to them. They're 1%. I think that's awesome. I'll congratulate them. But is it transferable to a day gamer? But it's not working for you. But you're Mgtow and you're setting up. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not criticizing their business. I'm not hurting their business. I'm just pointing something out. Is clout? There's a question I want to ask you. And I'm not being racist. I'm not being anything like that. I just want to say, is clout the only way of doing things or using romantic flirts and alcohol maxing in the boot camps? Are these the only ways of doing stuff? The answer is no. If they're not the only ways, then why is this the only solution for you? Okay, but you simply dismiss skill maxing and being whitewashed. Your opinions are taken away from you. In fact, you turn everyone off. So if I made a topic on Indians, nobody will watch it. Before, when I started this video, there was 0 views until now. Later on, you guys showed up. Maybe I changed the title a little bit. I should put Mgtow back in it. But you're reinforcing the negative stereotype of being a 2 out of 10 Indian, perceived natural status, stereotype with no awareness. That's what I wrote. Getting 4 out of 10 looking women or nothing at all, or being a boot camp using alcohol. 4 out of 10 means like London. Lots of guys in London are making mass approaches with direct game. They're still banging women that's 4 out of 10 that nobody wants. But that's what they're getting. But the rest of it outside of London, in North America, they're just completely Mgtowed and setting up like you. And I know what you're probably thinking is all game or status. If they get results, you would too. This sounds exactly like you, Beta. But again, I'm going to show you a great way you can realize that game crutches isn't that transferable to you. That's what I wrote. Or alcohol crutches or mass numbers game. That means without a boot camp. That if you can't use a cheat code. In reality, my students doesn't cheat. There is no alcohol policy here. There's 0 status maxing whatsoever. It's purely a skill that's transferable without a boot camp or bencho camps. So what you always think a boot camp is your only option. People like you are so stuck. Boot camps are the only option. Well, if I'm speaking out of character, it's because you trigger with clickbait type. Listen, you say no solutions, right? Everything you say is wrong. So if you're wrong about everything, you're probably wrong about clout. You're like, oh, no solutions, but there's lots of solutions for Indians here. Man, but there's no solutions, but there is solutions. So shut the fuck up. Let's hear another Indian who got married.
Hi everyone, so I'm making this testimonial for John. Just for I guess
He lives in Toronto.
I just got married recently with a girl who is better, who has a way better skill than me. Uh, and it's right now because I'm not going to share my experience channel or experience. But if you want to see my old events account other videos, So last year, in 2020, I took 860 training under
Mm.
John, and I also took John Edit Access training. So these trainings have changed my life. Like these are very powerful training. I learned a lot of high income skills and how to be productive, how to change your life, how to get more salary, and of course how to be better at dating. So because of him only, so I because
Yeah, I mean, before he was barely making much money, and then I taught him how to make over $116,000 Canadian, which is not bad for an engineer. I taught him how to game the interviews. This is why another student is going to text me. I got him a job to a Latino student in one try because they're using the social calibrations that I teach.
I find someone I like and I married. I was able to find a girl who I like and we got married recently. So so this is for all the Indian students that for all the Indian students who are suffering in their dating life. So John has the exact algorithm. Like he knows exactly how Indian guys can succeed in dating life. If you are an Indian guy, I'm quite sure you are suffering in your dating life, right? Especially if you are an Indian guy in Western world. So John has a very specific formula for that. And I applied his formula and I got success. And I got a lot of success. I got a lot of lace under him. And of course, I just got married recently. So, so for Indian guys, for example, Indian guys have a variable SMV. If, for example, the if you are a white guy, you have 10 out of 10, like based on your race, right? If you consider your race, like there is something called as status based on your race. So white guys have 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 points. They get 10 out of 10 points. But Indian guys, they get only 2 out of 10 points. But Indian guys have
Yeah, people like Rage. I can't remember his name. Rage Mao. Is it Rage Mao? Yeah, Raged Mao. Okay, so for him, you're probably a 2 out of 10 looking Indian trying to status max. So you're 2 out of 10 for perceived natural status. I'm guessing your looks are probably 5 out of 10. So that's 5, 6, 7 points. You try and add some lifestyle. That's 8 points. You don't have a high status job. You can't travel because you're too busy with the pandemic and working too hard. That's 8 points. You have points for a game, maybe 1 point, 9 points, and maybe 1 point for emotions. That's 10 points right there. And then your social calibrations is non-existent. That's 0 points, or maybe let's give it 0.5. That's 10.5. And your social skills, your conversational skills, your social skills, not just verbals. It's probably like 0.5 out of 10. You're just gonna self-amuse all day like RSD and just make statements and questions. You're only like 11 points or something out of 35. You need 20 out of 35. By you status maxing and being red pilled, you're almost minus 3 points. You're like 7 points. You have no chance whatsoever of getting laid.
some job that if you are an Indian guy, you are 2 out of 10. But you can increase your assembly by working on your hairstyle and by working on your dressing sense, by dressing properly. Like this case, John selected for me. Like
If he's whitewashed Indian, then you're 4 out of 10. That could have been a bigger change. That 2 points that you've been wasting over status maxing or clout, you could have got the same 2 points just by dressing more whitewashed and having a whitewashed hairstyle instead of a benchod beard. Benchod.
you can see how much John selected for me. So these things raise your value. And it's easier for you.
Yeah, the exact same color, watch, same everything. Husband material. When they're husband material, most women wants to get married. You can close faster in 1 to 6 approaches. Or you can just play a huge numbers game. You're like 7 out of 35. But let's say, for example, you were not red pilled and we add those 3 more points. You got 10 points. You got 10 more points you still need to gain. You should be focusing on social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. You're making progress, but my students are getting married and they got many lays What progress are you making by being red pilled? You're actually debunking yourself, embarrassing yourself because you're right in your own mind. The truth is, most Indians are kind of sociopaths. They have opinions as facts. They're ADHD because of the low self esteem due to it and high ego, massive ego, controlling parents, dark tetrad. Therefore, they have opinions as facts. They're lazy too. Then they think it's easier to just status max or do something. You're always setting up because you're bench holding because there's too much cortisol stress and too delusional, a fractured brain.
Now, one more thing for Indian guys, which only John has figured out. It's like Indian guys can like the same place. Like initially, I look like a Middle Eastern guy. So what John did was he selected a specific dress for me. And using that dress, I started looking like a Middle Eastern guy. So my
So he's whitewashed, but he kind of looked Middle Eastern. He's wearing a blazer. He's wearing the same shirt all my students wear, all the same pants, the same elevator shoes, but he's already tall enough. So
so my points based upon my race, they are now 6 out of 10. Like a white guy has 10 out of 10. A Middle Eastern guy has 6 out of 10. Indian
and Death Mall or what was his name? Rage Mall. Death. I'm thinking of Dead Mall, the the DJ, but Rage Mall for him, it's like a 2 out of 10 Indian. He's already turning them off, but he's adding status and he's turning women off even further because now he has super bench wash, Indian wash in his Instagram. Not only do you look more Indian, she's gonna look at that picture when you day game and you're gonna, oh, I have an Instagram clothes. I'm using clout. Okay. Indian wash, hang around with Indian friends and more Indians. And my Pakistani mentor always does not even use his Instagram, but he always says that he'll never have another Indian in his social media because that will kill all your chances with women.
has 2 out of 10. But he needs to get this for me in such a way that now it looks like Western guys. Now I get 6 out of 10 points based on my race. So that's a magic which only John can do this. So for every
So if you're Indian and you look like my old roommate who looks like a Latino, then your ethnicity back then was 7 out of 10. Now it's like 5 or 6 due to the migrant crisis. But he looks like a Latino, light skinned Gujarati.
Indian guy you can compete on, you choose your status. Because no matter how much you work hard, right? No matter how much you read, how much courses you join, what to say, what not to say, use
Not right. Introducing wealthy international lifestyle to my Instagram. It'll play off as humble and good luck with that. You will get 0 results. You're stuck and you're going to take a boot camp. Not my boot camp, because I don't teach boot camps right now. You're going to be stuck. You're going to go to a white boot camp first, then you're going to go Indian coach next. And then you're going to become even more red pilled afterwards. You'll be pissed off if it doesn't work for you. And then you're going to go black pill, and then you're going to Mgtow, and you're going to keep setting up like now. You're Mgtow. And then afterwards, you're going to go to squat in Casanova, queef in Casanova. You're going to listen to Johnny Elite last. You're brainwashed. I'm telling you, all Indians are brainwashed. They have a fractured mind.
so since they're not going to work in Indian guys, you can success. Indians, you can not get
Basically, he's saying that if you look like a different race, if you look Middle Eastern, Latino, Black, whatever, you're Indian, you have a higher perceived natural status. Instead of bench holding, oh, you're gonna show money, right? Money. Women can tell if you got millions of dollars or not, or you just like hang around with shitty places and try and take some decent pics and selfies. They can tell. You're not gonna fool them. How many places you traveled, how much you did this, how whitewashed you dressed.
status. It make you look like a defenders and you need to support. For example, if you're going to go to defenders, when you go, what should I nice in case you
You're not right, but I have 631 late post testimonials. I have more late testimonials than every other Indian dating coach, every Asian dating coach, every white dating coach in the world for a day game. I'm not right. I'm probably the most right. I mean, look at you. You're such a sheep.
you can get for for maybe 5 or 10. So that's why I highly recommend John. Just around 60 and not happy access. changed my life. They have changed many lives. And before getting married, believe me or not, guys, I got laid with every race. Got married, belonging to every other race. Like a white man, Italian, Finland, Australian, and everyone. Got married every other race. But since most of the guys they don't want to have a preferred lifestyle, they want to settle down. That's why I took a decision. And under counseling, I found a partner of white and I found someone and I got married recently. So sorry for my broken English, but and what else? So yeah, in addition to this, during COVID, right? During COVID,
Who cares about followers? I have the least amount of followers on my subscriber account. The more subscribers, the more sheeps. Oh, you got more followers. Good for you. Like you're gonna get stuck setting up. You just don't know because you never gone past the Mgtow stage of taking action. In fact, you might think you're very smart. You might think I'm debunking John Elite. To everybody else, they're thinking that you're a fucking fool. And John, you're just reinforcing John Elite's points. That's what they're thinking.
I was going to lose my job. He told me about how I can got me 16 and diagnostics. And he told me what exactly I can to save my job. So I did exactly that. I used to
This guy was like making like 46,000 a year. And then he's making like 93,000 after my training and $116,000 by moving different jobs. I don't know about now. I haven't kept in contact with him.
use about me.
His wife does not like me. So therefore I just left him alone. She doesn't it was stupid that he was mentioning about red pill to his wife, and he also talked about my blog to her, and she read it. It's like, what the fuck?
And he was hide those things and goes on. And then I did not my job and then he helped me. So what happened was I did not my job. Then I'm working in that job and doing good and having a good salary. This is only because of the job. If otherwise I'd have to get the big.
Yeah, most likely he's probably doing engineering, so he cannot use some fucking clout shit. That's not how he got his wife and all these other lays. He same day lay them.
Big company income. It's not in there. What else John has told me? Uh, he and I follow his effort long. Like you exact formula. She has really a specific formula for every type. So when you contact him, he will tell you what. Just follow his guidance and you will get it. Like there is no pass you won't get it. You follow his formula, you get it. As simple as that. It's like he has a specific algorithm for every student of every race based on his looks, height, muscles, everything. He told me about I was called his workout plan and he worked very nicely.
V
He
shape.
also told me about some, especially for Indian guys who don't have Indian accent. Indian accent, he helped me. My accent was worse. My vocal communication skills they were worse before. So he told me how to work on my accent, how to work on my vocal skills. So all these things helped in succeeding in my dating life. So the accent training I did not follow it properly, but if you follow the accent training by John, you will sound like an English guy, like an American guy. Not imagine an Indian guy who has an Indian accent and an Indian guy who has a Western accent, talking like an American guy who has a higher value, right? Indian guy with American accent. So John has a specific program for that. He knows how you can work on your accent. I did not do it because of laziness. I'm like one of his words student. He calls me any possible case, but it works. Whatever training he says, it works. Like I followed only 20 to 30% of his training. Like 60 to 70% of his training I did not follow. Still, I got too much results. Not just imagine if I had worked harder and follow his training step by step without any resisting. If I was very detailed, then I could have had more success. Right. So always so if you are a student of John, if you are suffering in your dating life, even if you think you are having any problems, even if you think you don't have high income skills, you're not able to find a job or anything, good John, he knows what you can do right now. Make money, survive during COVID. In fact, he's the only dating coach who can they got guys results during COVID. Like guys, many of my friends who are training under John, they got laid during COVID.
Now, this is before, but back then most dating coaches don't have like students lay testimonials. It stopped. But now during during the inflation right now, so far, I'm the only one posting day game lay testimonials this year. You guys been so brainwashed. There's no lay testimonials from any other coach yet. There will be, well, obviously, eventually. But this year has been so hard that even white dating coaches, they usually have zero late testimonials for white. But all mystery method system, ABCs of attraction, all this stuff, none of these Asians have even a single Asian laid for day game. It's ridiculous. It's like I'm the only one posting it, yet people like him are completely brainwashed. All right, so I can play this all day. But here's another Indian guy recently who just went through the mental trauma cure. He has been Mgtowed, black pilled, red pilled, exactly like this person. And they worship all the wrong coaches. He started worshiping Indian coaches too. Everyone but Johnny Lee, but I'm the only one who got him laid over the years. Listen to him. Mental trauma cure.
So I just recently, about a week ago, completed the mental trauma cure program. So a little backstory on that. I was quite ADHD.
Maybe I can ask him if he can actually show up here. Hey, are you able to show up on YouTube Live? Can I call you? Or are you still working right now? Yeah, I'm just telling the Indian student if he can show up. Sometimes they do that. They just show up out of nowhere. Because he's the most like fucking red pilled one. Let's see if he actually looks at the message. Maybe he's busy working. So or his testimonial.
Hey guys, so I just recently, about a week ago, completed the mental trauma cure program. So a little
Okay.
backstory.
Well, he says he's at work. There's no problem there.
I was quite ADHD when it came to the tasks he was assigning me to do.
Yeah, most Indians are ADHD. That's why they're brainwashed because they have low self-esteem, high ego. Sociopath opinions as facts, which you can see right there. Opinions as facts. I'm not putting out context. I'm being accurate here. I have evidence, but they'll dismiss it.
But what he did was he recommended this program to me because he felt that I needed to clear up all these traumas that I had in order to be more productive in my life and also help me have a more carefree, positive, and fun vibe.
He was so angry before being red pilled. You know that? He was so fucking red pill. It's like, oh, they're gonna jump on the cock carousel, ended already. It's like black pill or something like that. Rope maxing. Like he was so fucked up. Had to fix all that. Because Indians are like that. They have a fractured brain. They're super easy to brainwash. Just show some infields or stand next to a woman, start saying this is how things are done. They'll automatically just all the garbage will go in their brain. The half truths. Remember, there's more than one way to do something, and Johnny Lee is a solution. But you should not be put down there because during the inflation, you're more delusional. It should be Johnny Lee first, not Johnny Lee last. Come on now. Just because, oh, you're the same race, therefore you go the same race. It's like a black person that has to go to like Justin Wayne or something. Oh, he black, I vote Obama, Obama, Obama. No, no, you don't have to. Or, oh, I vote Democrat because I'm black. Automatically, they all vote Democrat. Great. Doesn't mean automatically you have to go to the Indian dating coach. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't go to them. I'm just saying you should have a choice that Johnny Lee is not last. You should consider everything and not be brainwashed. That's why I made this video. And perfectly, Death Mall over here, whatever your name is a perfect example of ban-choding behavior.
And I can say that it actually does work. I'm a lot more happier by taking this program. Now, just to give you some insight on it, it is quite long. And depending on the amount of traumas you
Raged Mao. Okay, sorry.
have, it took almost a whole entire day. And both of us passed out. It was quite extensive, but he's willing to take the time to make sure.
Yeah, mental trauma cure is supposed to be 10 hours, but he had so much fucking red pilled shit in his head. I literally could not even finish it. And then he passed out, and I told him to wake up as fast as possible, finish your mental trauma cure at this time, set your alarm, and then I had to finish it. So much fucking red pill shit and Mgtow and black pill shit. Even fucking Asian masculine. He's an Indian guy. Why would he have Asian masculine? He's always full of the pills, and then he starts worshiping other Indian coaches, and he's stuck. And but every time he comes back after being stuck, he gets laid here. And I told him, get rid of all your black pill shit. He gets rid of all of them. He goes to red pill. You get rid of your red pill shit, goes Indians. Get rid of the Indians. Now he comes back here, and then he's gonna get laid again, and he keeps getting laid here. It's like this is the only place you're getting laid, and you're worshiping these weird fucking pills and shit, and setting up like rage mouth.
That these traumas are cleared out. So I had quite a lot of trauma, and I could talk to you a little bit about it. Some of the things that was traumatizing me was were things such as the black pill, the red pill, and all these pills that are out.
Yeah, he's like, "Don't you need status?" That's what he said to me. "Don't you need status, John? I need status." So what the fuck are you talking? I actually told my students, "Have you gotten laid all these? You had 2 girlfriends before. Did you use status? No. All these other same day lays. Do you use status? No. I apologize on behalf of my people. Apology accepted." Mgtow. So John, why shouldn't we just watch any red pill, black pill content? What content? Why does it have to be red pill and black pill? What the fuck? All Indians are red pilled and black pill and Mgtow, and fucking Indian pills for dating coaches, and John Elite last, and then Creek Casanova muscle pilled, but John Elite last, and then white dating coaches first. Why does it have to be a white dating coach first? Why does it have to be Indian second? Why does it have to be red pill third, then black pill next, then Mgtow, and then Queef Casanova? Why does it have to be John Elite last? I'm glad he apologized on behalf of everyone. This guy was not approaching my student. He cannot even approach because he has so much mental trauma from this brainwashing. You should not be black pill. You should not be red pill. This guy got laid last year, same day lay. A recent Indian student got same day lay. None of them use fucking clout, red pill shit. You're all brainwashed. Okay, are you guys realizing now? Because multiple Indians are here right now. Multiple Indians are finally here. Okay, Mgtow's Indian, right? Dark America, I'm not sure, but you might be Indian too. Now the Indians are here. Just admit it. Are you sure you're not brainwashed? Are you sure you didn't give up the authority, right? Yes, sir. Exactly. You were brainwashed, right? And you didn't want to be because you gave the authority to other people. First of all, you automatically assume that white people have great social skills. They have none. They have 0 late testimonials this year. Mystery method does not work. Mystery method is like London day game, the same kind of systems. It's very ineffective. Some Indians do get laid in London, 4 out of 10 looking women. They're the only ones that approach. The rest in the West are all Mgtow. In North America, Australia, every other place, Indians are all setting up. So by the end of the content, keeps telling us girls only want rich Instagrammable guys. 80% are getting laid. It's my hypergamy real. Only 20% men. Yeah, exactly. So you always get stuck, right? Do you see that? This guy was so red pill. You know, he sounds normal right now. His voice was angry before when he was practicing, like, "Excuse me, real quick, I'm red pilled." It's like, what the fuck? Something wrong with your voice. You're very depressed. And he took mental trauma care.
And joining these Reddit forums like Hidden Masculinity.
Always Reddit, red pill, black pill first. I have to literally make him delete all this shit and you know take down his accounts. But once he takes down black pill, then he goes to red pill, take down red pill, then he goes to PUA pill. It's like, what the fuck? Pretty soon next, so it's gonna be a white dating coaches. Like, come on now.
And all of these were just burdening me in more ways than one. I felt more depressed and I didn't feel
I
like
bet he's speaking exactly the same language as all these Indian guys here. Everything that's coming out of his mouth for his mental trauma, red pill, black pill, Mgtow, all this shit. Other Indian dating coach, that frustration, that mental trauma, he's completely fucked. He could not even approach. He could not even practice. He's that brainwashed and the words gaslighted with half truths. He was completely stuck without mental trauma cure. Now he's able to approach, he's back to normal. Oh my God. You know, I never usually take more than 10 hours to fix a mental trauma cure student. This guy took like 15 fucking hours or 16 hours. What the fuck? So red pill. All of you are the same way. It's so much trauma caused by red pill. Oh, she's riding the cock carousel. It's only the top 20% will get the rest of the. It's not true. My students are able to get married, to bang white girls, to bang younger women. You're all brainwashed. And thank you for the Indians that are showing up here now.
wanting to approach anymore because of all these limiting beliefs that were placed upon me because of the red pill and black pill and this human masculinity movement.
You see that? Every single movement, every single pill, Asian masculinity pill movement, he falls for all of them. That's how Indians think. And I told him, because Indians have a fractured brain. It's like a broken mirror, a broken glass. Everything is apart. They have no cognitive abilities because they're delusional and they're sociopaths with ADHD. That causes it. Low self-esteem, high ego. Therefore, you have like delusions, the four traits. Number one, delusions. Number two, half-assing it. That's why you're all lazy. You want to do the minimum. The wrong path to sociopath, what he done by listening to that 4 months, it blows up in his face for black pill. Red pill blows up in his face 4 months. Indian dating coach pill blows up in his face. That's 1 year. Oh, Ben showed it away. Then black pill took him 3 years. Yeah, he did not approach it. He's setting up. He's always setting up. What, but John, I don't have enough status. That's what he said. Don't I need status, right? I got to start working my Instagram. I was like, dude. Oh, what's your Reddit? Oh, come on now. Oh, come on. You're kidding me. You're all brainwashed. Indians are okay. Death Mall. It's like asking the other guy, what's his. Oh my God. You just are so fucking brainwashed. You're exactly like this guy. He's talking your language. He's bench holding. What the fuck? You see that? This video is so fucking true. You guys are so fucking red pilled and Mgtow. You're just you can't you're so brainwashed that you need romantic flirts and alcohol maxing or status maxing. Listen, I don't teach that. If there's another way, it doesn't have to be like Johnny Elite Last. All I'm saying is that if you want to go with the Indian dating coach, that's fine with me. I don't give a fuck. Right? I'm not gonna defame them or hurt their business. But what I'm saying is, does this have to be the only first option? It's like black people. They vote Democrats as the only option, or they're Obama. He black, I vote Obama, Obama. It's like automatic thinking. That's why Indians have a fractured mind. It's like a mirror that's broken. It's completely fractured. So you, as soon as you worship and you think, oh, he got good results, therefore you get good results, and you don't get good results from the products, it doesn't work, then you're stuck in the boot camp. Like a sheep, like a bench holding sheep. First of all, the courses don't work, so they grow you listen to their stuff, you get closer, you start feeding yourself, you grow this fur over here, bench shoulder sheep, you grow the big fur here, okay? So, yeah, exactly. Exactly. You should only follow the students, like the coaches that actually have students laid without cheating, without using status maxing. I'm talking about day game, and without using alcohol maxing. I'm not saying other Indian dating coaches use alcohol in the bedroom and it escalates super hard, but without any crutches, the dating coach that has the most late testimonial is the one you should go to. You're right. Clint, you're right. You should go for the guy who continuously gets late testimonials because you're going to become one of them. Get it? And without a boot camp. So if you're going in a boot camp, this is what's happening, Clint. Okay? Like a sheep, you worship. Oh, like a sheep, now you have no brain. Once you've given up your authority, you start eating their bullshit and you grow this fur. Look at this. I bought this because this bench shoulder sheep here, right, has a jacket. So the fur, I never took him out of his jacket before. I'm not sure if I can put it back on. But bench shoulder sheep, you grow your fur and then you get fattened up. You get it? And afterwards, you feel like you're fattened up and you're stuck. You're fat and you're stuck. And you're like, I'm stuck. You're just like death mall. Oh, you know, do the best. The real naturals be honest when the real naturals be honest when approaching. What do you mean? Then when you're fucking stuck here, then guess what happens? Then you think to yourself, you have a conclusion with your fractured mind and your red pill, black pill, Mgtow, Indian pill coaches as the only option. I'm just saying, not that I'm criticizing. I'm just saying, Johnny Elite's still here with the most late testimonials, 631. Instead of bouncing off your mind, once you're fat as a sheep, you go to a slaughterhouse. The boot camp is a slaughterhouse. And guess what? You can't help it. You have to go to boot camp because you're an engineer. You can afford a boot camp. You don't get any results, or you get some alcohol maxing results, or there's like 6 late testimonials, and the coaches think they're a god. 6. When my student already has more than 6 for these guys, all of them have more than 6 lays. This guy has more than 6 lays. He has 2 girlfriends at the same time, this Indian guy. When he was coaching with me, it's ridiculous. And then when you go into a slaughterhouse, you've been stuck. Were you getting stuck was on purpose? Was it possible that because you don't know the conversion mechanisms, the status maxing or the Instagram everything before that point? Let's say be everything before the Instagram, which you do not have. You don't have the whitewash. You don't have the status. You don't have the high status job you're engineer. You don't have the thorough money status advantage traveling. You don't have the exotic advantage of traveling. You don't have a good job lifestyle. You don't have any of that shit. But you start using it Instagram bench holding with some lifestyle, and then you're stuck. You're stuck. You only gain like 2 points, and you're like a 2 out of 10 bench hold Indian fashion. And then you have no social skills, social calibrations. So if you take away the Instagram clothes, everything before doesn't work. You take away the alcohol in the bedroom, everything else before then does not work by itself. It's not standalone. It doesn't work. John, how do you overcome the spotlight effect when approaching women in large crowds or in small coffee shops? Yeah, it's very easy. You had to say it with conviction over and over before you approach. I don't care what. Write this down, okay? I'll write down for you as affirmation. But not most affirmations don't work because you don't believe in it. I don't care what women thinks about me. I only care what I think about myself. Or I don't care what people, not just women, people. I don't care what people thinks about me. I only care what I think about myself. You keep saying that over and over. I don't care what people. If you say it in a typical way, oh, I don't care what people thinks about me, because your right brain is like attacking you. You're like a dictator, and your country's overthrowing you because you have low self-esteem because you're Indian. Indians have no self-esteem, and it's getting even worse, especially this year. They're not even approaching. They're worshipping. They're setting up. They're Mgtowing. They're always men going their own way, setting up before they start approaching. But they're all Mgtow, all Indians, except the ones in London who still bang 4 out of 10s once in a while. But the rest of the Indians everywhere else are not. In North America, they're setting up low self-esteem. You keep saying that over and over. I don't care what people thinks about me. I only care what I think about myself. If it's shaky, you keep saying it. I don't care what people think. And then that fucking Mgtow, spotlight effect disappears. If you say it enough times, your brain at a certain point brainwashes itself, and the spotlight effect disappears from you, and you approach anyways, not giving a fuck. But that only lasts for 24 hours. But you have to say it with full conviction. I hope that makes sense. So try it; it'll work. So that's why you don't rely on boot camps. You build up your connections and online presence. This motherfucking mama chode, papa chode, ban chode is still thinking you need to build up your online presence and not approaching. Okay, let me just say this for the video so we can quote what he says. That's why you don't rely on boot camps and build up your connections, online presence. What the fuck? It's always online presence. My students have no online presence. This guy doesn't even have an Instagram with any pictures on it.
And I can safely say I'm a lot happier now. I feel more at ease knowing all this is what behind me and past, and I'm ready to move forward and move on. And with the black pill stuff,
Oh, the black pill stuff. Indians will turn black pill so quickly. Indians love to be black pill. It's all looks, right? It's over, as they'll say. As soon as they go to red pill and it fails them, watch what happens with Rage. Yeah, Rage Mall. Watch what will happen. When he finds out his Instagram in my algorithm, he only got like 7 out of 10 or 10 out of 35. I mean, not 20 out of 35. When he finds out it does not work, guess what? He's going to go to black pill, then Mgtow again. And then he's going to quit. And then go back to an Indian dating coach. And after that doesn't work again, he'll go to white. And then he'll just quit, and Johnny Elite will be not an option because he's brainwashed.
I just got so deep into it. I just thought, oh, if you're an Indian guy, you're screwed in dating, and if you're
Bullshit.
and if you don't have
Actually, here's the truth. If you train under me, Indians actually have way more value than Asians. I'll prove it. Okay? If you look at other dating coaches this year and last year, okay? And have you noticed they actually have more Indian testimonials of Indians laid than they actually have of Asians? Because Indians have more value. Don't you understand that? Rarely do people get Asian day game late testimonials. Not even other Queef and Casanova ABCs of track. None of them actually gets Asians late for day game. It's always night game. 15 out of 35 night game, not 20 out of 35 day game. Because it's getting harder because people are losing their social skills. If that's a fact, then they can get more Indians late than they can get Asians late. And I can get Asians late more than Indians. Indians have way more value than Asians, but you guys are not utilizing because you're brainwashed. You have a blind spot. You dress like shit. You dress like bancho wash. You completely brainwashed. You have blind spots. You're delusional. I get it. The last YouTube live, Latinos were completely brainwashed, but Indians are even more brainwashed. So, there's most approach hesitation, anxiety caused by mental trauma. No, it has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. Limiting beliefs, well, that has a little bit to do with that. Low self-esteem does affect it. Also, sometimes people have like a lot of cortisol. For Latinos, they have this epigenetic stress. Back then, in the old days, one of their ancestors, they probably nearly got killed doing something similar or in trouble. So they turn on the light switch for you. That's for the worst case Latino fear. But most Indians do not have much fear. Half of them have no fear, and the other ones give it a thumbs up if you guys are learning something for the spotlight effect. But most Indians do not have approach anxiety, and if they do, due to cortisol, they can get over it very quickly. It's just cortisol, stress, and also if you approach the wrong women in the tribe, as they say in evolutionary psychology, you can get your head bashed in and not procreate if the women don't like you. But it's just a normal fear. It's just normal fear, and plus low self-esteem adds to that. Not everyone has that fear. Half my Latino students don't have that fear. Indian students, 1/3 do not have that fear. 2/3 does, but they can get over it. So only one of the Indian student who got a same day lay recently, he was the one with the super fear, but I got him over it. But it takes a long time. So why are Asians low SMV when they have white skin? White skin does not make a difference because my Pakistani mentor has the darkest skin. His girlfriend is 10 out of 10. This whole skin color caste system is only exclusive to India. It has nothing to do with the rest of the world. It's like, oh, Gujarati, they're light skin, therefore they have fair skin, as they say. They're fair skin, so they have more value. But in reality, for Indians, the darker skin you have, the more black looking you are, the more value you have with white girls, especially in Europe. Exotic advantage. So it's kind of counterintuitive. If my Pakistani mentor has the darkest skin tone, and these students, they met my Pakistani mentor. The guy who got married met my Pakistani mentor. He says he looks like my Indian uncle. He's like, but dark skin. So that debunks it. Also, this guy met my Pakistani mentor. He came to the mansion, the inner circle mansion. He hung out there. So he met my Pakistani mentor. So dark skin is actually a good thing. The darker, the better for white girls. Yeah, they're okay to be approached anytime because most guys don't approach anymore. If you display 20 out of 35, then with a whitewash fashion, and that raises your money too and your husband material, they can't wait for you to approach. It doesn't matter if they're a teenager, age above the age of consent, right? Don't drink it. It doesn't matter if they're like whatever. Oh, because of red pill women or modern women, don't get in your head. My students can same day lay regardless. They just have to be out there dressed like this with the social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and not focus on status maxing or game maxing. If alcohol is what you need to make it work, it doesn't work. Do you get it? How much is that social skills point? 2.5 points. Social calibration is 2.5. Emotional control, 2.5. That's 7.5 points, guys. I'll say this again. That's 7.5 points. What I teach my students. Social skill, social calibrations, emotional control, 7.5 points. Whitewash fashion raises their looks. By Indian people, they raise it by 3 points. Because when you're bancho wash, it's like really like 1 out of 10 for fashion. It looks like Gen Z. Looks like shit. Lowers your looks, your bancho beard. And then number 2, the money. When you dress richer and nicer for the money, then is their husband material. That raises the money. It raises their status. They're no longer 2 out of 10 banchoed Indians or curry Indians. No offense, not to be racist. I'm not. I have Indian students, and they get laid, they get married. But if you want to look curry washed, No offense. And you think Bollywood is great fashion with their bancho beards and their unibrow. Not to be racist, I'm just saying unibrows are not cool as much as you guys think. You're delusional. I had one Indian student from Australia, and I told him to dress as bancho wash as possible. I said he looked like my Pakistani mentor. Grow a beard, make sure your hair is curly, you know, and then wear like a pink flannel. He did, and wear a tapered pants, which Indians all wear, and wear like a white sneaker. He went and approached women, told them like, "Ew, you're disgusting," or "Get away from me," or "Ew, don't approach me." They literally say that out loud. And then I said, "Now dress whitewash with the same blazer, the same fashion." He could not get rejected. He raised his score and he started dating Latinas and stuff. What the fuck? So Indians, they can raise their perceived natural status from 2 out of 10 to 4 out of 10 by being whitewashed. You don't need to have a high status fashion or anything like that. You can be brainwashed. Thanks. No hesitation. Well, basically, I don't want to give everything away. I want to say some of that stuff for my students. But some of the students are doing drills and stuff to lower their approach anxiety, even without approaching, but going towards her. No, I cannot say more, but it is possible to lower it. You want to lower from 9, 8, 7 until you're 5 out of 10 approach anxiety, then you can do it. But there are ways to do it. You could ask questions, right? Like directions and stuff in the beginning until it lowers, but that'll take even longer than what my students would do. Have you been seeing those TikToks where they say like race you should not date? They all say Indians. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. My Indian students, another guy from Vancouver who did not make a testimonial. I think I'm not sure if he's engaged or not. I have to ask him, but he found a life partner. But he was about to bang a Megan Fox looking woman. She looks like Megan Fox. She has black hair and blue eyes, light blue eyes, Ukrainian. And then instead of doing that, then he goes with another woman and now becomes life partner. But fuck, he was about to bang them. These other students, they can bang white girls just fine. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah, they say Indians. No, they're not talking about whitewash Indians. They're talking about bancho Indians. My Pakistani mentor looks like an Indian uncle. And he's banging like 10 out of 10s and 9 out of 10s. I wish I could show you, but he does not allow me to show you. They're so good looking. They're better looking than any other dating coach's girlfriends. I wish I could verify and say, see, you'd be like, what the fuck? That looks better than any other dating coach's girlfriends or any other women they can get. Their models look like shit. They'll look like 7.9 out of 10 with makeup. Try and boost it up. My Pakistani mentor's girlfriend right now is 10 out of 10. She's perfect. I thought she was Russian or something. She looks like a CG character. I was like, what the fuck? That big eyes, perfect lips, nice ass, everything. She's already perfect. So he's going to move now to Dubai or something. And he's going to go on vacation. They invite me out again to Europe. But he says, like, his girlfriend knew. If he upgrades her with another woman, another Ukrainian or another Russian, because he can get it, he's that good. He's ugly and he's dark skinned. Then she's going to leave. But if he doesn't do that, then she's going to stay. And he's going to stay with her. I never seen him settle down before. That guy has like fucking 4 women chasing him at once, all 10 out of 10 and 9 out of 10s, Instagram model looking women. And they keep texting him and keep ringing his fucking phone over and over again. I was like, what the fuck? They're like literally, he's Indian looking and they're chasing him down. So the whole idea that they don't like Indian, yes, they don't like 2 out of 10 curry Indians. Nobody likes those Indians. That's a death sentence. If you look like a curry Indian, like Death Mall over there, with his Instagram, with a big beard and hanging around other Indians, nobody likes that. It's a kill zone. But it's still 2 out of 10. Asians are 1 out of 10. That's why Asians into looks max and Instagram now. But however, yes, it's true what TikTok says. Most women do not like Indians, but they like whitewash Indians. They like Indians that look like a different race. They like Indians that have a little bit of clout, but whitewash, not like fucking bencho wash with clout. Does that make sense?
Proper jawline, then you're screwed in dating. If you're not 6 feet tall, you're screwed in dating. And if you're bald, then you're screwed in dating as well.
Yeah, my bald student is gonna get married this year. He's 5'4" and he's bald. So how the fuck is that possible? It's like ridiculous. Oh yeah, the international Playboy frame. You see that? You're brainwashed by other Indian dating coaches. I'm a Playboy Indian. with millions of dollars. Well, you don't have millions of dollars. You're a fucking engineer, probably. You try and build your status. You have no chance. You're not them. You don't have. You probably sound like an Indian person. You probably have a huge beard. You probably dress like shit, but you want to be a playboy lifestyle. Good luck with that. You're gonna set up all year, and you're gonna quit day game. You're gonna be black pilled eventually. You're a casualty. I feel sorry for you, Deathmal. It's perfect that you show up in this video because everything that you wrote there is exactly proving my point. You could not have proved my point more clear. How sociopathic and delusional you are. That's a game for 1%. Yes, it will work for that 1%, but my Pakistani mentor is not using clout and setting up and being a playboy lifestyle, but he's banging women more attractive than playboy models. 10 out of 10s. How the fuck is he doing it? Yeah, he's a natural. I get it. But naturals have social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. He's not fucking high status wash fashion, club promoter fashion. He's whitewash fashion, exactly like my students. Come on now.
Oh, and that's what I initially thought. I thought, hey, I'm an Indian guy and I'm totally screwed. Girls are gonna look at me, they're gonna look at my brown skin and just disqualify me
No,
right away.
no.
However, you can look at the testimonials themselves that actually dispute that. And what I find very interesting from this trauma is that he really digs deep into your into your mind as to why you believe in it, and he does a lot of things to basically destroy those beliefs. And I can't tell you what they are, but I can tell you they work. um, he definitely will use a lot of tactics to try to destroy your beliefs that you have, and that's what he will do. He will destroy these beliefs. And now going to the red pill after
Oh,
you
red.
know
Oh, the
debunk
fucking red pill. Oh, here we go. Indians all red pill, all Mgtow, all fucking red pill. Oh shit! After I got him all black pill, he comes back. He gets laid last year here, and then he goes back to fucking red pill. Fucking red pill. I already answered your question. Looks is out of 10. Money is out of 5. Status is out of 10. Indians can look like 4 out of 10, whitewashed, or they look Latino, 7 out of 10, or 6 out of 10, or blackwashed. But if they look like Bencho, they're 2 out of 10. They have no social skill, social calibrations because they're autistic. Emotional control because they bancho and they get like they're intense and they're just like they have a problem with emotional control. And their game sucks. They suck shit. They use alcohol in the bedroom. That's what they learn in the boot camps. And they use heavy bedroom masculation. I'm not saying every boot camp does that, but they might do that. And then you think they get results. So in their way, Indians like they're stuck because they dress like shit. They look like Gen Z. They have the worst fashion. They have the bencho beard, a unibrow, greasy fucking hair, and then long hair on the side. It grows everywhere. And then they start having a tapered pants, white fucking sneakers, and a pink work shirt from India. Of all fucking things to wear, a pink work shirt. There's nothing he says that's right. Yeah, one white student, he has 6 lays right now. You know that? 6 lays.
black pill. Now we got to go to red pill.
I'll play their testimonial so you can see how. So right now, the white student, um, I'll show you soon. He has 6 lays right now. So if their boot camp, let's say they're coaches. I'm not saying Indian or not, but let's say hypothetically, they start saying, "Oh, they're a god. They're the best. They're the best because they're a god. They're a god because they got 6 students late from boot camp. 6 that time. 6 people. They're a god. But already that white student already has 6 lays in 2024. But they're a god. 6 lays. Italian student has 6 lays. All stunners. 6. Come on now. I'm gonna post another 12 of them because if they post another 6, I'm gonna post 12. We're gonna ignore all the other late testimonials and we're gonna start all over. We're gonna show. If I have to post the thumbnail screenshots before I post the video, so you guys instead of ignoring it that I'll post that one first. But yes, it works for white people. White people get even crazier results, but they have to worship white dating coaches first, usually. They have to go to a white boot camp and everything else. They get laid here and they're just like, thank you, and they fucking leave again.
Red pill ideology.
Oh, red pill.
If you're not like top 1%, man, you're screwed in dating. And if you're not rich, like rich as fuck, then
rich. There it is again, just like Death Mall. I'm rich, playboy lifestyle, status, clout. It's not gonna work. Trust me. I even tried that with my 52-year-old student who's bald, 5'7". He used status maxing, even though he has a 10 out of 10 perceived natural status being white and ugly, but he tried to use status maxing. I want to do an experiment. It did not work. He didn't have enough money to make it happen. His job was not like a club promoter or a music producer or some high status shit. It was just a normal job. So therefore, he can only travel so much and do so much. Status maxing got him a few dates. Didn't work. The only person that it worked for was my millionaire student. He's a multimillionaire now. Unless you're a millionaire and you can travel and you have friends that are billionaires and stuff like that, and and I audited his Instagram. It only works when you're really actually rich. When you have that kind of resources and you're an entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur. It will not work for anybody else with a normal job. If you have obligations, that's what Indians will refuse to believe. They want to be like that while they're engineers. Why's my jaw sticking out so weird? What the fuck is this? Maybe I'm biting on the muscle too much. It's not fat. Yeah, it's too much stress. I'm biting my teeth apart if I keep doing that. But that's not the point. The point is Indians that are engineers or they have some logical job because they're Asperger's, so they can leave the country of India, where 90% cannot leave and only 10% can leave. All these Asperger people, they all have Asperger jobs. They don't have a high status job. They have obligations. They start using status maxing, they're going to get fired. Their bosses and their coworkers will get jealous and cause a lot of problems. And then you have to be an entrepreneur afterwards. You're all stuck. See that? You're so stuck like Death Mall or Rage Mall. So you focus on helping Asians, Indians, yeah, will help. Yeah. So
not succeed in dating, which, John's students who aren't super rich, they're not in the top 1%, are getting results. So
yeah,
really dispute
without money and clout are getting results.
that because their evidence is right there. And one of the biggest traumas.
If you're bringing in six figures, how will she know? I mean, you think being an engineer bringing six figures is going to make you a pussy wetter? She asks you, "What's your job?" And you're like, "I'm an Indian engineer. Oh, I have a high status. I'm Indian engineer. I'm an engineer. I have high status. Oh my god, I have really really high status. You love it, baby. Boobs and vagina. Ridiculous, ridiculous."
It's just. So let me tell you, I came from Vancouver, and one of the biggest traumas that I've ever had just lingering in the back of my mind is the amount of these balding, ugly white guys with these regular looking Asian females. Now I'm not even Asian, so that shouldn't bother me. However, constantly seeing that on a
You see that? Everything bothers him on these forum groups. Red pill, black pill, Indian dating coaches, white dating coaches, even Asian masculinity, Asian identity, all that shit. Everything bothers him. That's how Indians think with a fractured mind. They have to go to all the pills. That's how their brain thinks. They're like sheeps. Indians are all sheeps. All of them. And they can make six figures. They'll go to a boot camp when they get stuck, like Death Mall. When they get stuck, they're going to go to a boot camp. They're going to spend like $20,000, $30,000 on expensive boot camps. They'll be in the same place they were before, but they'll just do on Instagram or night game and then not day game. And then they're just, it's okay. I got some Tinder lays and some night game shit. And then they're stuck. So I feel sorry for you guys. So when Indians do not take like LSD or something to cross their neural pathways, they're always going to bench hold and lose their fucking minds, be delusional, ADHD. I'm not saying you should do that. They'll microdose on that shit for some of them to cross their neural pathways just so they can function properly. and it helps them. It becomes a superpower. I'm not saying you should do that. But however, when you don't do that, everything's fractured. Red pill, black pill, Asian masculinity, Indian PUA pill. You're all stuck. You're all fractured, and you're all sheeps. You all worship. The Reddit groups are not the problem here. They're reinforcing negative beliefs. Exactly like last time when the Asian person from Asian masculinity I insulted was defending it, and I kept debunking it. Yeah, I kept debunking it because he's a sociopath. That group, those kind of groups attracts the most sociopathic, delusional people with lowest self-esteem that like to shift the blame on women and somebody else. They like to shift blame. Oh yeah, because I don't have enough status. Therefore, shut up.
Faces just rubbed me the wrong way, and I felt so angry at life. I was depressed. I just had a very angry vibe about me, and because of that, and I having this weighed down on me, but now I feel at ease with that. In fact, this trauma cure worked better than I expected. Now instead of paying $18,000 for years of
Yeah, I had an Indian student from Vancouver. He had a bet with me. He says, "John, you're smart," and I was like, "Of course." Like, not to brag, but he is like, "You're a genius." And I was like, okay, I know. But what do you need help with? He told me that he spent 24,000 Canadian to get rid of his trauma, and he had a bet with me for $3,000. If I can get rid of his mental trauma in one day, he'll give me $3,000. And I did it. And I created this program. It was created by an Indian person in Vancouver due to talk to him. Mental trauma cure had an Indian influence because he bet me. Those groups have knowledge and empower us. That's exactly what the other person says from Asian masculinity video. And I kept debunking him. No, red pill people don't get laid. Black pill people don't get laid because they're angry. It's minus 3 points. So if you're like 10 out of 35 and you're red pilled by these forum groups and you're empowered because they'll blame women that they're riding the cock carousel, they're part of the 1%. Now you're angrier, and that minus 3 points is that you're only 7 out of 10 death mall. Therefore, you actually are hurting yourself because when you blame women, it'll show up in your vibe. So you're actually hurting yourself. So even if you gain 2 points of status, you lose 3 points being on these forum groups, getting pissed off like this guy. They don't empower shit because they don't get each other laid. Let me ask you guys a question since you guys are sheep. Because Indians, you have to ask them questions, but they're still delusional. How many people did Black Pill get laid in those forums group? 0. So if their theories are correct, how come nobody gets laid? Okay, let me ask you a second question. In these red pill sort of ideology, how come red pill dating coaches, have such ugly wives if they're red pilled? How come their clout is not working for a day game? Third of all, how come their students don't get any results? You take this stupid boot camps from what's the guy's name? That little short guy. He does social circle game. Their students don't get laid at all. And then it's like, no, it's not about getting laid, it's about being a leader or some shit like that. I'm teaching them to be leader, so that'll get them laid. But they don't get laid from these social circle game and this clout game. Nobody gets laid from those easily. You're just borrowing the culture's status during that boot camp, but you're not getting laid for day game easily. So it's like night game lays or some kind of fucking setup game. More power to you if you can use a setup game. Why is his jaw sticking out here? Yeah, too much chewing here. Okay. Does that make sense? You're using the coach's status, but they don't usually get laid for day game without all that shit. So if it's not transferable, let me ask you guys a question. If it's not transferable, how is the forum groups helping you? If nobody's getting laid in these red pilled and these clout chasing and black pill forum groups, if they don't get laid and they cannot transfer it, and I'm the only one with 631 lay poll testimonials, then how is it helping you, empowering you? It actually is disempowering you without you guys knowing. They get the results they want. Prove it to me. Show me a black pill or red pill person in these forum groups that are getting great results. I don't believe you. Show me. I doubt it. They're too angry to get that kind of results. It's just gonna be stuck hanging around with women, taking pictures with them. If you're red pilled and if you don't have social skills and you don't have like actual millions of dollars or close to it, that kind of lifestyle is not gonna work. You take that away, you're just gonna be clout chasing by hanging around these parties and stuff, taking pictures with women, standing next to them, trying to use pre-selection. You see that? You're so brainwashed. How many late testimonials do I need to post? I'm gonna post 12 more in case other coaches posted like 6 of them and they think they're a god using alcohol maxing. I'm gonna post 12. 12 more on top of that. I already posted like fucking 15 late testimonials, some screenshots because that way I'll post them later on because people are ignoring it because they're poor fucking sewer rats this year. They have no money. They're fucking poor as shit. So why waste the testimonials? But I'll post them all later on. But let me post another 12 of them.
Therapy, Don does it in one day. It's amazing because for the amount that you pay for his trauma, you're not paying $18,000 to sit at.
Yeah, United States, like $200, right, per session, once per week. 2, 4, 6, $800 times 12. Does that kind of make sense? It's around 18,600. A lot of money.
Go to a psychologist just for him to repeat the same thing you're saying, try to just comfort talk you. That's bullshit. It doesn't work. John actually takes the time to dissect the problem, come up with a solution to get rid of those beliefs. And like I said, that the balding white guy.
Yeah, that bothered him a lot in Vancouver. Most of the couples here are almost all Asian women and creepy tall white guys that with receding hairlines and inbred faces. It's not just him that been traumatized by this. Even I have been. I mean, if it's so much, right? It's almost like every second couple is an Asian woman, white guy here in BC before. But now it's a little bit different. After the pandemic, they blame the Asians and they start punching these Asian women in the back of their heads. These white guys, they lost their privilege. But before that, 51% of Asian women will marry a white guy. Now it's leveled up to like 38% or some shit. But still, we're making progress. Do you agree that most coaches' results they get from themselves are not transferable to the students? Yes? Okay, let me ask you some questions that makes you think, right? Because I asked the questions about the forum groups and he was delusional. He has no proof. Let me ask you a question you guys cannot answer because Indians like to worship white dating coaches first. When was the last time you saw a white dating coach do a same day lay from open to sex and you actually seen proof of the lay in the bedroom, not just going to a cab? Name one coach. You can't, can you? Now you're remembering. You're like, what the fuck, John? But I trust the white dating coaches. They're good, John. They're good because you're delusional. They have no social skills, like my Pakistani mentor Naturals and all the white people that hangs around with him, because they invited me to go to Europe. I'll be around some of the tallest white, good-looking naturals, along with my Pakistani mentor. If I go to Europe, I'm thinking about not going, but they invited me to the trip, a Euro tour. Should I go? But all the naturals have social skills. The white dating coaches, they look like sociopaths. They have like angry eyes and stuff. You don't notice that. Let me ask you guys a question. When was the last time a white dating coach same day lay from open to sex? Or even show the bedroom stuff? When was the last time? Look at UFO company, right? In Australia. Nope, nothing like that. Go to a cab, that's the end of it. Okay. Self-proclaimed high lay count guy, go to a cab. Nope. Todd V goes in a cab. Nope. Who else? You never seen it before. There's always at some nighttime situation. Nope. It's just basically a bunch of posts. It didn't show any lays. It's just a poll. So who else? The proof is out there, but cannot be quantified because there is no proof. They cannot same day lay. It's all a deception. They'll just go on Tinder afterwards if they don't get that lay. They just get the footage, but you don't see a same day lay. So which other coach? I only know of one, but he got a rape charge. One white coach was able to do it on camera, but he has a rape charge in the United States. He went to jail for it. But who else besides that one person who's a complete psychopath? The other guy just shows like polling and just like His head on top under. What? Indian is probably good looking. No, he's not good looking. The other guy's not good looking. That's ridiculous. So if he can same day late for this other white guy, I mean Indian guy, this guy.
Hey, how's everyone?
Look at him.
Yesterday on April 16th, I had a same day lady with the mixed Latino. She was mixed between Puerto Rican and Mexican. So the story.
So if he has this big, skinny, fat neck, and he's like 5'8" and really like very low in the looks, how is he able to do that? And this guy must be very good looking too, right?
Horses, and he has been a crucial.
He's 5'4" and he's gonna get married this year. How the fuck is that possible? But he's good looking. He must be good looking.
Part of the success.
Black pill.
Spring modules. All these systems are important in my understanding of the game. There are many corrections, exercises, and examples in the module, and it can take some time to learn all of them. But this is knowledge that you would have never known, and every one of them strengthened my game. I'm Indian, I'm 5'4", and I keep my head shaved because I'm balding. And yet with John's help, I've had 2 lays and 9 total dates alone. One of those lays was a girl that I met out while actively gaming. From my genetics and my race, at one point I had thought that I would never get any serious success. But with the information from the products from John, I've dated women that I thought would never go out with me. John has also contacted me out of the blue to give me tips on my online presence and my fashion, and that has helped me a lot. And it also proves to me that he genuinely cares about his clients. So I would recommend John as a coach to you if you're really serious about improving your dating life.
For online presence, I just say hang around more white people because he has a lot of white friends after the program. But that's it. They don't dress well. They don't have any lifestyle. They just hang around. No, he's not AI voice. So this testimonial was like way back then, before AI was a thing. So how the fuck is it AI voice? This is an old testimonial. This was like in 2000 and something, 2000, like 2019 or 2018 or something. How is it AI voice? So you see that? You guys are coping so hard. The Indians are coping so hard. The reason why they sound monotone is because they're Asperger's. Most Indians are Asperger's. He might not think he's Asperger's, but they're all monotone. Most Indians are monotone. So if that's the case, then what the fuck are you talking about? You're either like, you see, it's so out of your reality that you can't believe that this is possible. This guy is a lifetime membership of the inner circle. So SDL can be shown as proof on video, but can you show a same day late close on video the right way? I already done it. So I've never seen like any sort of like white dating coach ever do a same day lay. So let's see what Indian guys goes black pill. He must be unattractive. All Indians will go with black pill eventually. Even this guy, who you think is so good looking, skinny fat. Maybe you think he's AI too, huh? So here's an overweight guy. He's 5'10" and a half, overweight. Indian guy gets married. So what the fuck? He banged a Latina, he banged an Asian woman, he banged a white girl, but he still got married. How the fuck? Super low SMV, not super short, skinny fat, really chubby. You guys are just reaching. Honestly. Even this guy got like many lays.
Years before.
This guy, After the boot camp, he has like 4 lays with white girls. And look at him. He's like the only good-looking person, I would say, that really good-looking is my old roommate. This guy. He has a Latina girlfriend, and they're still together. He's the only good-looking student that's really, really good-looking. The rest are okay-looking. Some are decent, but most of them are just average-looking. So I don't know what you're trying to say. Most of the Indians are super, super average or below average, and they're still able to same-day lay. So this, you should see this guy over here. I cannot zoom it in, but this guy over here, he's 5'5" Indian. He's like super short, a white dating coach's self-proclaimed 8-week mentorship student over here. And he's skinny fat, double chin, and he still got laid. It's like you guys don't realize there's a solution here. You guys are sucking other coaches off so hard. The white plausibility, red pill, clout chasing, that you don't realize there's a solution right here. Because you guys have automatic thinking. White first. No white dating coach ever same day lay is impossible because they are too autistic to do it. They can only just pull and just to a cab. Then the Indians, because they worship, that's how they do it. They're like a bunch of sheeps. Then they worship their own race. Oh, then maybe Indians did, but it's not transferable without the boot camp, which has the crutch, the conversion mechanism, where there's alcohol or status that you're using. Okay. I mean, good for you. I'm not saying you should not go to their boot camps. I'm just saying you have a choice. It does not have to be white first, then Indian, and then fucking red pill after that because you failed with the white pill. Then because you've been misled, their courses don't work. In my opinion, that's alleged. We'll see. We'll see if their day game courses work. If they don't, then you go to a boot camp, you fail, and eventually, after worshiping, you're like, there's no more options. Then you go to fucking red pill, and then you go to black pill, and then afterwards, when you're black pill, like black sheep, then you go Mgtow. When you go Mgtow, you go back to Queefing Casanova or some other strong Asian and Johnny Elite last. You'll never reach Johnny Elite first. If you just put the person that has the most late testimonials for day game as number 1, and we put everything in order for day game, white dating coaches will be last. The whole order will be completely reversed. Does that make sense? It will not be white first. It'll be Johnny Elite first. Then it might be an Asian or Indian dating coach for day game. Not nowhere near close to what I have for student results. Just like 6 is a god for day game. Come on now. I don't care about night game or Tinder shit. Or, hanging around social circles. I don't care about that shit. It's just my opinion. And then what? What's next? Then Johnny Elite first, Indians second. White dating coaches, maybe they might have a lucky token Asian once in a while in London. That's number 3. Number 4 is going to be red pill has no results for Indians. So it's going to be like red pill is going to be tied with black pill and tied with Mgtow. They're going to be at 0. And then Queefing Casanova, it's going to be like that, right? So it's always Johnny Elite last. I think some of the Asian dating coaches do have Indians late for night game, not day game, but for night game for their boot camp. So that doesn't count as day game. So they're lower. They're above the fucking Mgtow. So here's the order. The real order. Johnny Elite first. Other Indian coaches for day game, second. Number 3, maybe like night game, Queefing Casanova, and those kind of places for Indians. And then Mgtow tied with red pill with black pill, no results. And white dating coaches last. White dating coaches would be above that. White dating coaches and then red pill and all that shit. That's the real order. Mostly online night game, right? So here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. If day game requires more social skills and social calibrations, and I have this 20 out of 35 formula, looks out of 10, all that stuff, right? Night game is 15 out of 35. Can you actually use social skills in a nightclub? No, you can't because the music's too loud. You can only use short phrases and whisper in her ear or get her talking in your ear. Can you use emotional control? No. You can only vibe it. So therefore, you don't have. Does that make sense? There's no emotional control and there's no social skills. It's 15 out of 35, so it's easier. So if coaches have night game testimonials, which ABCs of attraction does, but no day game because they can't get above 20 out of 35. Tinder is 12 out of 35. Tinder, you're not there with social skills. You don't have social calibrations, emotional control, just a little bit of game tactics or a text game and good pictures. Then therefore, Tinder testimonials are the low-hanging fruits. They don't count. They're not pickup. Night game is okay, still pickup, but they don't have day game like testimonials. Then who gives a fuck? Oh, they still got night game. That means they don't work. That means only Johnny Late stuff works, guys. Don't you understand? Only Johnny Lee has the late testimonials for day game that other coaches don't have without cheating the process. Most of them just fucking huge numbers game. Most white dating coaches have like 3 late testimonials. Well, he's not born in India, okay? And he grew up in Canada, but he was born in Singapore. So he's not technically, a lot of Indians are born in Singapore. But it doesn't matter. You're just blaming the accent. What about the other guy who just got married? Oh, yeah, let's ignore him. This other guy gets married with an accent, but let's just ignore him. His other guys, too, with Indian accent. Go back here.
I need a bit about myself. I'm from India and I was like very shy and introverted guy.
Yeah, he got laid, but this dumb fuck, he gives me a video testimonial, but he tells other dating coaches that, because at the same time he was listening to other dating coaches and buying all their products. He's stupid enough to tell the other dating coaches, and they screenshot his stuff as their testimonials. Fuck you. And then I change his fucking fashion. I change his fucking hairstyle, as you can see here. No more band holding hairstyle. I change his fucking shoes, elevator shoes. I change his pants, and then he gets multiple lays, and then they screenshot. Fuck you. I get him laid. He has an Indian accent. He's 5'7", and he still gets laid in Australia. Latinas, white girl. It's like, what the fuck? Many lays after that. He quit because he got too many lays. And he banchoed it because he could not handle how easy it was using it my way. It's always excuses. Accent this. Indians always are coping. They have nothing but coping mechanisms. There's a lot of different factors, but you don't have it because you're red pill and you're clout chasers. Everything debunks you. Let's continue. I think that basically that's what I want to say. If you're Indian, train with me. Okay? You should go with the guys with the most late testimonials, John Elite first. Maybe if you want to choose other Indian coaches second, but never choose it above John Elite. And then number 3 is like white dating coaches, or I mean like Asians, and then white. And then red pill, black pill, and Mgtow has 0 late testimonials. That should be the order that you should go to. But rather, you do the opposite. It's like fucking white first, and then fucking Mgtow and fucking red pill and black pill, and then Indian coaches, and Johnny, and then Queef Casanova kind of coaches, and then Johnny Elite last. Night game shit. Asians don't have any day game late testimonials. They only have night game shit because night game is 15 out of 35. All right, I think I made my point here. Despite all the proof, you guys are sheeps. You guys have proven yourself to be completely banchoding sheeps. Ridiculous. And you've proven yourselves to be all Mgtow. You have proven yourself to worship clout chasing, Instagram maxing. You have proven my point. Everything that I wrote down and that I read out loud has been true. So now I'm going to stop the video. Okay, I'm going to cut this video, and maybe it'll be a good video. Okay, you want me to censor your name? Raged Mao. I'll censor your name. Who gives a shit? You already delete your post, right? And that's how it's going to be. You're just going to prove my point. And when I post a Latino person, so no, okay, how about this? I don't give a fuck if you don't give permission. I'll just leave your name in there. I don't need your permission. You talk here publicly. You can always just delete the post here. I'll just use your name then. I don't need your permission. Or you want some courtesy? I can censor it to be nice, but I don't have to. All right. I doubt they're really strong for most of these Indian guys. They're all skinny fat. I doubt they even work out much. Ridiculous. They're too lazy to work out. They're ADHD as fuck. So, well, I'm just gonna post your name anyways because you don't give permission. It's not gonna change anything. Nobody knows who you are. You can't take down the video. You can't take down the video, but you're a sheep, Rage Mo. You know, if you're gonna take down the video, then I'm just gonna remove you from this place so you cannot actually show up here anymore. Fuck you. I'll hide you from my channel right now. You want to do that? You want to fuck with me? And you want to project your opinions as facts at me? How is somebody gonna find you in real life? Because you're Rage Mo. Are you like online? Are you a DJ or something? No. Then shut the fuck up. I can leave whatever name I want in there. But if you want to take it down, I can do that for the censoring. I don't care if you give permission or not. I'm doing it because I want to. Not because you told me to. If you're going to threaten my channel because of this, then you should never come back again. You should fuck off and I should hide you from my channel. Your response, your next response, right? Your delusional next response. Go ahead, right? Right before I choose to hide you from my users, like hide this user on the channel. Remember, it's not because you give me permission. I don't need your permission. It's just I choose to. That's not a problem. It won't take me long to do that. I have a program that can transcribe this entire text and I edit from there. Well, what's your response? Want to threaten to take down my channel or the video? You know what? Fuck off from my channel. Never come back. I don't want to teach you shit. You don't learn shit here. Fuck off. You're hidden from my channel. Okay, no response. Just gonna hide you from my channel. Fuck you. You fucking Papa Chode. Yeah, he's gone. I'm Malaysian, Indian. Okay, so lots of Indians are from Malaysia. Okay, I unhide him right now just to see what his comments are. Okay, because he wrote something. Let me unhide him. Let me view the deleted messages. You can still post on my channel. It's up to you. You decide, but see what happens. Oh, he's threatening me. Hide user on channel. Well, you can't really win because that's not your real name. So he's gone. Deeply shameful. Yeah, that's the Indian bench holding backstabbing behavior that I keep talking about. Indians will all backstab you. It's just a matter of time. They're all born backstabbers. They're sociopaths. All my students will backstab me at one point. All of them. The knife will go in your back. That's why. Are Indians from Singapore better looking? No, they're just same looking Indians. They're no different. So Indian, Malaysia, right? Lots of Indians are born there too. So they grew up there. So you have the Chinese, you have the Malaysians, and you have the Indians living in Singapore and Malaysia, and Malaysians too. The Chinese are the ones with the more class. It's like a caste system, but class system. So it's fucking. Well, I'm gonna remove his name anyways. Because I want to. But this fucking Indian piece of shit, right? He's gone for good. Anytime I see another one of his out accounts, he's banned for life. All Indians are banned from taking my coaching from India too. He's not from India, but all Indians from India are banned. Even if I make a $5 book called Getting Started for Day Game, they're all banned. They cannot take it. Even at $5, no Indians can take my courses. And I'm telling you, all Indians will stab you in the back. They all are sociopaths. They're delusional. They'll stab you in the back. It's just a matter of time before the knife goes in. Sometimes it could take years, but the knife will always come out because they're sociopathic. But for him, it was just early. Let's knives out. All right, I'm gonna end the video now. But yeah, I'm gonna cut this video and post it. Maybe not right away, but once I get this done, I'll remove his name and stuff like that. reading his post. But for everybody else who gives a shit, unless your name is the same name, he cannot get this video taken down. But however, even if he tries to attempt to do that, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's a backstabbing, stupid. That guy will not get laid at all. This guy's gonna be a virgin for life. He has to pay for sex. That's all he can do. Or he can only pay for sex because he's not gonna get laid using his status maxing bullshit, bench holding shit. So, yeah, low virgin for life. He's gonna be a virgin for life. He's gonna pay for sex when it doesn't work out with the red pill. All the money's gonna go towards paying for women. And then after that, he's gonna be stuck and he's gonna go to Tinder and then he's gonna go fucking Mgtow again and then go black pill. Oh no, status maxing doesn't work, black pill. And then he's gonna quit. And then he's just another fucking person bench holding. That's how they're like. Indians are like that. And then that's how Indians have like 4 steps in thinking. Number 1, they don't have a higher self altruistic thinking, helping others and stuff. Number 2 is the lower self. They're always in survival mode. They'll become sneaky. That's usually after 1 lay. After what they get like 5 lays or something, they think they're a god. Then they go into the backstabbing gear. And then afterwards they go to okay, so number 1, altruistic gear, no Indians have. Number 2, the depressed snowflake cunt gear. They don't get any results. They're nice to me just to get the results. Number 3, lower self. When they get laid, they'll start becoming sneaky. Number 4, they'll start backstabbing when the ego trip. That's why I'm going to post like 12 lay testimonials in a row right now. So if they think 6 equals God and ego trip and start backstabbing, then I'll post 12. Then they go back to depressed gear. You got to keep them depressed. That's how Indians are like. Depressed, lower self, backstabbing. Back to depression, back to lower self, back to depression. Let them stay depressed, let them fail. I apologize on behalf of my shameful behavior. I forgive you, beta. I forgive you. Okay? If this makes you understand, right? This video makes you maybe rethink Mgtow, right? If you want to stop being Mgtow like my other students, maybe it's time to train under me. I'll show you that I can get you a white girl in a Western country if you just do what I say. You let go of all this status maxing, Mgtowing, all this black pill shit, all this other Indian brainwashing concepts. When you empty your cup, when you're ready, right? What kind of girls are the Indians guys get? They get Asian girls. They hate. Some of them get Asian girls. Some of them get white girls. Some of them get Latinas. That's what they get. Whites, Latinas, and Asians. So those are the 3 races and blacks. So it's kind of varied for Indians. So they can get white, black, Latina, and Asians for my students, all of them. So they get multiple races too. So if that's the case, then it's not just like, oh, you can't get one no, you can get all of them. And you're like, Asians don't like Indians. Oh, you sure about that? You sure about that? Some of them do. And they're not even the dark skin Asians. They're actually the light skins, like the Koreans and the Japanese. They're like, what the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck, right? The South Asians. So even one guy has a girlfriend that's Asian before. So if that's the case, right, you have a lot of limiting beliefs. Who gets a light-skinned Asian girl? Many of the students get light-skinned Asian, most of them. So at least for my student, if you have social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, game, and being whitewashed, you'll get a white-skinned South Asian, like a Korean or Japanese. So most of the students already got that. Most of the other Indians are struggling to do that because they don't like Indian wash because it doesn't raise your status. Asian women are hypergamous. They like hypergamy. They like every other race they can get that's not Asian men. They'll go up the ladder, and if they can't, they go down. So that's why you need to be whitewashed. Not 2 out of 10 Indian. They will not go for you. All right, I'm going to stop the video now. I think I've learned enough, and you guys have proven my point. So, and the other guy, yeah, it is shameful behavior. I'll let you post the video if you give me an apology. I don't need your fucking permission. So this is an out account. All your out accounts are banned from ever training with me. I don't apologize to shit. You should apologize to me. Let me just remove this fucker, all his comments from my channel. So that way they cannot say there's anyone that actually was on my channel. Let me remove every single comment. Let's see if it actually disappears. Remove. Is it removed, guys? I want this guy off my fucking channel. So any other alt accounts I can ban. So anytime this guy shows up and he's like, red pill this, red pill that, right? Guess what? Fuck him. This is why this is so disgraceful. This guy like makes all Indians look bad. That's the bench-holding, evil, sociopathic behavior of Indians, backstabbing. I think he's 5'9.5". He doesn't have muscles anymore. He used to have muscles when I first trained him. He's lost all his muscles. He's getting older. Okay, if it's all removed, that's good. So you guys cannot see even that other guy that showed up in the green sort of, you don't see that green avatar of him. All right. Good. Fuck him. Let's see if he shows up with more alt accounts. More for me to ban. Ban chode. No? No more. So they're all gone, right? Okay, that's good. Yes, they're all removed now, John. All right. Let's stop the video. It's 3 hours. It's too long. All right. See you next video. And I'll edit this video later. I don't need his permission. He cannot get me in trouble because there's nothing he can report. So fuck him. What an asshole. Look, if you don't agree with what I say to the other guy, don't go to my channel. Go back where you came from, right? Go worship the other Indian coaches. Go back to Red Pill. Fuck off here. Don't be a subscriber. Unsubscribe. It's fucking stupid. Always Indians, always backstabbing you. Every single one. Unbelievable.